Good morning, very distinguished dignitaries here present. I want to welcome to this occasion the chairman of the occasion, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, FNSC, MFR, ably represented by our own Deputy President, Engineer Valerie Ifueko Agbe-Raba, FNSC, our past president of APOINT. I want to recognize here present our host, Engineer Chinyere Nena Igwebe, APOINT president. I want to equally recognize our very distinguished guest, His Excellency Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, CON, former Governor of Rivers State, former Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Transport. You are welcome, sir. I recognize our founding member of APOINT, our past president of APOINT. I have my former minister here. Sorry for that breach of protocol. You are welcome, sir. We have Engineer Babatunde Omotoba, PhD, and he's a fellow of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Welcome, sir. I want to recognize the chairman of APOINT here present. I know Abuja chapter is here. NNECL is represented. I think she traveled. I welcome our members, the students that are here, the media, fellow professional engineers, every special guest that are here. You are welcome to our program. I'm here to give an overview of what we are doing today. Today, we are celebrating the International Women's Day. We all know it's an annual event. We have gathered to celebrate International Women's Day. As we all know, it's a global event recognized by the United Nations and observed every year in March, on 8th of March every year since 1975. This is a way for us to celebrate achievements of women and to promote gender equality around the world. When we talk about achievement of women, we are talking about their achievement in the social life, in the economy of the country or the world, culturally, politically, and more. We also advocate for gender equality during this celebration and women's empowerment. This year's is themed Give to Gain. It encourages people to give their time mentorship, opportunities, resources, and support to women and girls so society can gain, develop, and women recognized and celebrated. Today, APOEN has chosen 17th March to celebrate this beautiful day in our society in collaboration with what the world stands for. APOEN National has put together this event to celebrate women that has achieved to give back to the society. Also, today we'll be celebrating and mentoring our children. That's why we have our students here. So in this event, they'll be coming forward to talk to us, what we call speeches. We have a panel section that will be holding in a way to advocate for the continual gender equality. I'll round up by saying that this year's 2026 International Women's Day theme reminds the world that supporting women's empowerment is an investment that produces lasting benefits for everyone in our society, in our community, in our homes. Please relax and enjoy the program with us. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Engineer Okoro, for that enlightening overview. While that was going on, some personalities walked in. I would like us to recognize our past president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers, Engineer Nkechi Osigwe, FNSC. You're welcome, ma'am. Also here with us is the past president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers, Engineer Ini Usoro, FNSC. You're welcome, ma'am. We also have here with us Engineer Elizabeth Oricha, FNSC. Thank you for being here with us, ma'am. It is therefore my honor to invite the president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, Engineer Chinyere Nena Igwebe, to deliver her welcome address. You're welcome to the podium, ma. Thank you very much. A round of applause for her.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Please permit me, a protocol has been breached and we need to correct it. We have the oldest president and in our midst, who happens to be the second president of this great association, in the person of Engineer Nkechinyere Isigwe, FNSC. So please, ma'am, can you help our ushers to bring her to the front? That's the ideal thing to do. Please. If not, I can't continue. Thank you. President, Engineer Ali Alimasuya Rabiu, FNSC, Fellow American Society of Civil Engineers, MFR, ably represented by our own past president, the ninth president of APWEN, and another woman trying to, or rather breaking and has broken the glass ceiling, the deputy president of this great institution, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Ifeko Agboragba, FNSC. My mentor, always. Thank you very much, Ma, for honoring us. We also have in our midst um, the special guest of honor, the Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, former governor of Rivers State and also former Minister of Transport. Thank you, sir, for honoring us. I had to do some stuff to have my other added. Thank you, sir. We also have another former minister in our midst who graciously honored us to be a panelist, Engineer Babatunde Omotoba, FNSC, sir. He happens to be the former Minister of Aviation. Thank you so much. And a lot that you did in the aviation industry is still speaking. Thank you. And we have in absentia, I think she's online, our former head of service, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Engineer Bello KK FNSC, should be joining us soon. We have the Honorable Minister, sorry, I missed that. Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Hajia Imam Suleiman Ibrahim. While I was seated, they called, they were on their way. So we hope to recognize maybe her representative. Permit me also to recognize the founding members, past presidents. We have the 11th president, Engineer Dr. Ini Usoro. You're welcome. We also have a founding member, one of the 5, Engineer Beatrice Oduni FNSC, ma'am. You're welcome. And a wonderful Jega in our midst, the eldest and one of the Mosquitias, a past chairman of APREN Abuja, Engineer Elizabeth Owicha FNSC. This month has been the month and we are still rolling. Thank you very much. And all the national executive members, when NMPCL, APREN Abuja chapter, all the students, you're all welcome. But I cannot conclude this introduction without recognizing our partners. And it goes thus. I want to recognize Mr. Roland Ewubare, Group Chief Operating Officer, GCOO, ably represented by Mrs. Ogale Ojaburu, Senior Business Advisor, EVP Business Services. You're welcome, ma'am. On the list is also the MD NNPC Gas Marketing Limited, NGML, Engineer Awal Ibrahim. Sorry, I got that. Mr. Declan Nwokoro, who is the MD NNPC Gas Marketing Limited, represented by Engineer Awal Ibrahim, who is the ED Gas Distribution. You're welcome, sir. He also doubles as a panelist in this event. We have the Engineer Salawuddin Tahir, MD Netco, ably represented by Engineer Ibrahim A. Jama. You're welcome, sir. He is the ED Project Management Netco. We have Mrs. Sophia Mbakwe, EVP Business Services, ably represented by Mrs. Iyabode Ayabami Ojo. She is the MD NNPC Limited Properties. Ma, are you here? Okay, on her way. Fine. Let me take the protocol. Thank you. We have Mr. Ibrahim Hamza, Chief Gas and Power Investment Officer, CGPIC. Oh, sorry, ably represented by Mrs. Christiana Nana, lead HCM. Are you here, ma'am? Woman in black. You're welcome, ma'am. We also have the MD NNPC New Energy Limited, in the person of Mr. Haruna Abdurrahman, ably represented by Mrs. Gesit T. Amakoroma, Manager Business Services, NNEL. You're welcome. So I want to welcome all our beautiful members here, teachers, students, zero coordinators, planning committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is both an honor and a profound privilege to welcome you all to this significant celebration of International Women's Day organized by the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN. Today we gather not merely to commemorate a day, but to celebrate a movement, a mission, and a shared responsibility a responsibility to build a world where women and girls are empowered to innovate, to lead, and to shape the future of our societies. Our theme of today, which is Give to Gain, Empower Her, Empower All, is it captures a timeless truth. Progress is never achieved in isolation. It is built through generosity, collaboration, and willingness to invest in others. As the renowned former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan once stated, there is no tool for development more effective than the improvement or the empowerment of women. Indeed, when we empower women, we do far more than support individuals. We unlock innovation, strengthen economies, and transform communities. Engineering itself teaches us this principle. Every great structure stands because of interconnected support system. Beams rely on columns, foundations support towers, and networks enable systems to function. In the same way, societies flourish when women and men work together to elevate talent wherever it exists. For decades, Apwen has embraced the responsibility with courage and for decades, Upward has embraced this responsibility with courage and commitment through STEM outreach, mentorship programs, scholarships, community development, professional development activities, and advocacy. We have continued to open our doors for women and girls who dare to dream of engineering excellence. Yet, our work is not only about opening doors, it is about ensuring that those who walk through them have the support to rise, lead, and inspire others. Today's theme reminds us that giving is not a loss, it is a multiplier impact. When we give knowledge, what do we get? We create innovators. When we give mentorship, we shape leaders. When we give opportunity, we unlock potential. When we give support, we create legacies. This is why the recognition segment of today's celebration is so deeply meaningful. Today, we honor five exceptional women whose dedication, professionalism, selflessness, and leadership have strengthened the engineering profession and inspired countless others. Their journeys represent resilience, excellence, and service. They have broken barriers where none existed before. They have mentioned and mentored younger professionals when guidance was needed. They have invested their expertise and influence in building the profession we proudly belong to today. As the legendary civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. once reminded the world, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? So I leave that to you. The women we honor today have answered those questions through their service, leadership, and commitment to excellence. They have given generously to the profession, to society, and to the next generation of engineers. Their stories remind us that true leadership is measured not only by professional achievement, but by the number of lives uplifted along the way. As we celebrate today, we also send in a powerful message to every young girl watching and every young engineer listening. Your dreams are valid. Your voice matters. Your innovation is as well needed. But for those dreams to flourish, collective support is essential. That is why gatherings like this are so important. They bring together leaders, institution, industry, partners, policymakers, and professionals who understand that investing in women is not charity, it is strategic development. The famous anthropologist Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world," just like we have the 5 founding members who actually changed the face of engineering for women in Nigeria. A round of applause for them. Today, in this hall, we are far more than a small group. We are a powerful network of change makers with the ability to shape the future of engineering in Nigeria and beyond. To our distinguished guests, partners, and sponsors present here today, I say this with deep sincerity: your support matters. Your collaboration enables us to expand STEM programs for girls, strengthen professional development opportunities for women engineers, and build platforms where innovation thrives. By supporting Upwen, you are not simply supporting an association, you are investing in the future of engineers who will design our infrastructure, drive technological advancement, and solve the complex challenges of our nation. And so today, as we celebrate International Women's Day, let us renew our collective commitment. Let us give more to mentorship. Let us give more opportunities. Let us give more visibility to women's achievement. And let us give more support to the next generation. Because when we give to empower women, we gain stronger institutions. And we know that NSC is one. When we give to empower girls, we gain a brighter future. And when we give to uplift others, we gain a more just, innovative, and prosperous society. In a while, we shall be listening to the children pitch on their sole need as a student and as a school. May we have the heart to give. Let us today inspire each of us to leave this hall not just with applause for the awardees, but with a renewed determination to support, mentor, collaborate, and invest in the advancement of women in engineering, starting with the younger ones behind you. Together, let us continue to prove that when we empower her, we truly empower all. Let us use this opportunity to invite. I'm trying to use this opportunity, and I'm actually using this opportunity to invite you to an all-in-one Upwen International Conference where Africa and the entire world meets, scheduled to hold on the 21st to 25th September 2026 here in Abuja. On behalf of the leadership of Upwen, I warmly welcome you all and wish us a memorable and impactful International Women's Day. Thank you and God bless you.
Please, another round of applause for Madam President as she takes seat. Thank you so much for those inspiring words. I would like to take more of the recognition before we go to the opening speech of the NSC president. I would like to respectfully recognize officially the founding member, one of them that is here with us, of Upwen, Engineer Beatrice Oduni, FNSC. Thank you for finding time to be here with us. We also have a national chairman here with us, the Nigerian Institute of Petroleum Engineers, Engineer Professor Yetunde Alade, so FNSC. Welcome. We have here with us the GCOO, Mr. Pauland Ewubare, who is here represented by Mrs. O. Ogali. He's the Service Business Advisor, EVPS BS. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And also all Upwen National ESCOs, I especially recognize you. All Upwen chapter chairmen here with us, you are specially recognized, and also chapter ESCOs. Now, to deliver the opening speech, it is my privilege to invite the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masiu Rabiu, who is here represented by the Deputy President, Engineer Valerie Aberagba, FNSC. You're welcome to the podium, ma'am.
That's a very lovely song for women. Can we give all the women in the house a big round of applause? I was loving the song and I would have loved to, keep listening to it. It makes you feel very important, doesn't it? Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, students. Good morning. Good to see all of you. We are celebrating women, and the hall is looking very, very colorful. We must also appreciate the men who have decided to celebrate with us. Please give them a big round of applause. The president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, would have loved to be here, but duty calls is actually representing the Nigerian Society of Engineers in faraway Ghana, attending the Ghana Institute of Engineers conference. And in the spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood, uh, we always like to grace our programs. And so he's gone there to represent all of us. And he has asked me to represent him in this program. I would have loved to be here as Valerie Agbiragba, past appoint president, and sit there and enjoy the program. But duty calls. So please permit me, I'm not dressed, I'm not compliant today. I was told on Saturday is the t-shirt and the black trousers. Pinelli, was that what you told me? Yes. And that, please make sure you are compliant. I tried to be compliant. But when I was told I was presenting the president, I'm a woman. And I'm like, I should look different, right? Yes, I should look different. So I decided to break the color code. So once again, I'm happy to be here. I love celebrating the International Women's Day. Um, it's actually a reminder of what you need to do and a reminder of the allies we need to have with the men. And so I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to represent my president, who also, according to some of us when we describe them, I'm Upman. So I'll just go straight to the protocols. The president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the delectable engineer Nina Igwegbe, FNSC. We have very distinguished Nigerians in the hall. I want to recognize the former governor of Rivers State, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi. Please permit me if I do not know all the acronyms and synonyms and all the prefix after it or that or suffix. But we recognize you, sir, and we want to appreciate you for celebrating with us. And we believe that you hold the key to listen to some of the expectations of the women engineers in Nigeria and be able to drive this, considering your position in the country. I also recognize a former minister of the Federal Republic, an engineer, Engineer Babatunde Omotoba, FNSC. Thank you for joining us. I recognize the representative of the GCEO of NNPC. Thank you very much for being here. A past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a revered past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and APME, a man that truly supports women engineers, Engineer K. Ali, and also past president of Coren. Please, can we give him a big round of applause? He wasn't smiling when I was passing in front of him, and I whispered something to him. And by the time I said that, he had a smile on his face. Sometimes you see him being alone amongst women, and you're always saying he's blessed amongst women. So that makes him very happy. So we're happy to have you here. Thank you very much for always being with us. I also want to recognize the most senior past president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, our own engineer Nkechi Isigwe, FNSC. Thank you very much, ma, for always being there. If you want to clap, please, can you clap? Thank you. If you know her age and still see her coming to attend our programs, we appreciate her more. And if you look at her t-shirt, when they sent the t-shirt out, they said we should all write your name and then a sassy name. Is that the word you used? And a sassy word. Me, in my own usual self, I put Val behind. Val is not a sassy word. But look behind Engineer Okechi Isigwe and you see a sassy word. How many of you saw what is behind her? You want to say it? Somebody should tell me. NK Super. I'm sure Engineer Ali, that resonates with you. Yes, you saw it. I hope you like round of applause. Right? That's the spirit of our point. That's the spirit of girlishness. It shows you that Engineer Kechi Isigwe is still very young at heart. We are happy to see you here, man. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I actually want to recognize all the students in the house, because if you are building a future and you remove the students, you are not building any future. And so I believe their being here today is also to perform one of the main duties of our point, building the younger generation. So students in the house, give yourself a big round of applause. We have quite a lot of people from the oil and gas sector. I recognize all of you here, and I'll just go straight to the speech of Mr. President. The APON president has actually laid a very long protocol, and I don't want to go through that. But please let us all know that you are all recognized, you are all important, and we are glad to have you at this program. Please allow me to also recognize some other past presidents of APON. I see the 11th president, Engineer Inu Soro, FNSC, FAE End. Did I see Engineer Onoli somewhere? Okay, she's not here. And then the founding member of our point, Engineer Beatrice Oduniyi. And of course, my own dear sister, Engineer Elizabeth Oricha. Please, you are all recognized, and please allow me to end there and just go straight to the president's speech. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, now this is Engineer Lee Rabiu's voice you are hearing. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to join you here today for the celebration of the International Women's Day program organized by the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APOEN. The United Nations has specially set aside this day, which was March 8th. And if you know, we celebrate International Women's Day throughout the month of March. Some people celebrate it before 8th of March, and others do till the end of March. So they've specially set aside this day to celebrate the invaluable contributions of women to society. It is therefore fitting that we gather here today under the umbrella of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, because APOEN is a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, to celebrate the outstanding women of APOEN. Over the years, APOEN has consistently demonstrated the highest ethical standards in both public and private endeavors, while also providing leadership in engineering practice, mentorship, and national development. Since inception, APOEN members have continued to fly the NSC banner with dignity, dedication, transparency, discipline, and commitment to national progress. I thought I would hear a big round of applause for APOEN. I have personally witnessed a lot of programs and seen many women engineers who have inspired the younger ones to excel in both the workplace and leadership. And I've also seen many young ones mentored to become very confident engineers and leaders. I wouldn't want to call names, but I'm sure those of them in the hall, they all know themselves. Even I, Valeria, when I stand before, they recognize Engineer Bello KK here, and they were talking the last time. She said, "This is Valerie, small Valerie, right? Small Valerie." And today, by the grace of God, I'm Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. We have so many people here. I look at Chinyere when she came in. I can say small Nina when she came in, but she's president of APOEN today. I've been mentored, tutored, and she has learned. You see, mentorship is two-way. People can want to mentor you and you are not willing to learn. There are so many people that started with her and we can't see them anymore, right? Some became too big for themselves, but mentorship shows that somebody is ready to learn and somebody is ready to give. And that is why the theme for this year is what? Give to gain. So it's very, very apt. So it's a two-way thing. There are so many women engineers in the hall that have grown. And I recognize them as president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Senior members recognize them, and we are very proud of what they have done. I therefore applaud all of you distinguished Amazons of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. As we celebrate the progress made in the past years, we must also confront our uncomfortable truth, which is the fact that the promises of full empowerment of Nigerian women, including our engineers, remains unfulfilled. We cannot afford another 5 decades of waiting. And sometimes, if you notice some of the national programs they do when they are celebrating women, I don't know if you've noticed, you hardly see them celebrating women in technology, except women who may be in technology and occupy very big positions, but never really practiced as engineers, but occupy positions in maybe one or two big company. But Nigerian women engineers have done a lot, and we are proud as a society to be celebrating them. They've done us proud. We've had women engineers who are members of NSC, active members, become CEOs, become director generals of companies, and they have done excellently well. And so, as the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I celebrate the progress we have made. And we want to say that Nigeria has not done much or too much in empowering women. And we want to say we do not want to wait another 5 decades to see this happen. So, therefore, enable women engineers make greater impact on national development and GDP growth. I therefore see the need to bridge the gap existing and truly unlock the potentials. In doing this, I believe we must focus on some strategic measures that deserves all attention. First and foremost, we must improve access to finances, which is very critical. Women engineers and entrepreneurs should be supported with access to capital, grants, and low interest financing that will allow them scale their innovations, expand their businesses, and contribute more meaningfully to economic expansion. Secondly, market access must be strengthened, creating platforms that connect women engineers to both local and international markets, because this will boost their competitiveness, expand their export capabilities, and stimulate industrial growth. Policy support remains essential. Simplify business registration processes and provide tax incentives that will encourage greater participation of women in engineering and technology-driven sectors. Training programs, mentorship initiatives, and professional development opportunities will strengthen the skills, confidence, and leadership capabilities of women engineers across the country. Finally, strategic partnership. Strategic partnerships must be fostered, strengthening collaboration among women engineers, industries, governments, agencies, development partners will facilitate knowledge sharing, innovation, and sustainable business growth. It is therefore my pleasure to endorse this year's theme, Give to Gain, with the sub-theme, Empower Her, Elevate All, Generosity, Collaboration, and Collective Uplifting. This theme is both timely and immensely significant. I must commend the organizers for demonstrating great foresight in selecting a theme that speaks directly to one of the most pressing challenges of our time, our support for women. I wish, therefore, to assure you that under my administration, NSC will continue to support APOIN in promoting leadership, mentorship, professional visibility, and policy engagement across the country. If you recall, when we had the World Engineers Day, if you remember, the president of APOIN was at the NTA program where Engineer Kasim Ali, past president of NSC and past president of Koren, along with past president Tasiu Wudil, spoke on the World Engineering Day at the NTA program. So that is to tell you that whatever we're doing, the visibility of women is going to be part of our program. I indeed call on government and development partners, multilateral institutions, and the private sector to strengthen their support for APOIM. Supporting women engineers is a high impact investment in national productivity, innovation, and global competitiveness. This gathering offers an opportunity to educate the public on matters relating to women's advancement and the critical role women engineers play in shaping the future of our country. As we proceed with today's program, I wish everyone a very happy and inspirational International Women's Day celebration as we discuss, mentor, and direct on that which we should do that will take the women engineers to the next level of their practice. Happy celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma, for those powerful remarks. Please, another round of applause for her as she takes her seat. We would like to recognize some distinguished personalities that came in while the opening speech was on. I would like to respectfully recognize the past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Kashim Ali, FNSC MNI. Thank you for being here with us today, sir. We also have past president of APWEN Online. I would like to recognize Engineer Dr. Patricia Opene Odili, FNSC. Thank you for joining us. Also, Engineer Felicia Agubata, FNSC. Thank you for joining us here today, ma. You're specially recognized. I also like to recognize the DG of NAPTIP, who is here represented by Mrs. Teresa Kuma, an Assistant Director of Violence Against Persons Prohibitions Department. You're welcome and thank you for being here with us. To share his remarks, please join me in welcoming the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Engineer Bashir Bayo Ogulari. This is going to be taken by the GCOO, Mr. Roland Ewubare, who is here represented by Mrs. O. Ogale. Please welcome to the podium, ma'am.
Permit me to stand on existing protocols. Good morning, everyone. I'm particularly excited to be here today, standing in for the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited. Distinguished guests, excellencies, past presidents, APWEN members, and all of the students here today, inspiring women from across industries, and the men, the she for he heroes that we have in our midst. Please give a round of applause for them. Thank you for coming. It's a privilege to speak with you today on this important occasion, celebrating the International Women's Day. I bring warm greetings on behalf of Engineer Bashir Bayo Ojulari, the Group CEO of NNPC, whose unwavering support for inclusion and talent development across our industry continues to open doors for many professionals like me and many of my colleagues in the hall today, and women across NNPC nationwide. This year's theme for the International Women's Day, Give to Gain, Empower Her, Elevate All, captures a very important truth. When we invest in women, we not only unlock progress for them, for their families, but for the society
and the nations of which they are a part. To unlock development for women in Nigeria and in the industry and in our communities is a tall order. To do that effectively, we need STEM, we need innovation, and we need empowered women. Let me remind you all, only a woman will chair a board meeting, host her husband's birthday, go for a football event, and remember to call on a colleague that she did not see at work in one day. Please give it up for yourselves. We just don't give. When we give, we know we're giving to make a difference. And we know when we give, we gain. Our family gains, our companies gain, our society gains, and our nation gains. But guess what? How many times are we actually given the platform to give? And today I will share a bit about myself and a bit about NNPC and why giving for women is something we must begin to do deliberately and intentionally. Empowerment doesn't just come. It's not a zero-sum game. Like the former speaker said, it's a multiplier. I think it was the president that said that. Women's empowerment would like to share with us today rests on 4 key pillars. The first is yourself, because you are the core foundation. The second is the family. The family is actually your support system. The third is the organization, and it can be your company, for me, NNPC, for a number of us, where we work or the circles we find ourselves in. And the last is the society, which creates the multiplier effect and the wider impact. As engineers and as technologists and as scientists, we are at the heart of innovation. We are at the heart of nation building because we bring to bear the perspectives that power the future. So gender equity is not something that is just an aspiration. It's something that we all must do. And we must bring women to the table when we do that. My journey in this industry as a female, young science graduate at that time, stepping into a male-dominated industry, required that I step up. But in that journey, I encountered moments that required moments of resilience. For a number of us in this room, maternity leave is one of those moments. How many of us can relate with that? Taking time out for family commitments is one of those moments. Or when we're even required to work away from where we are naturally located. But all of these experiences helped me realize that I could be much more. For women, I would like to say to you today, you can be much more. You can bring your instincts, your empathy, and your creativity to building the teams and the communities that you find yourself in. And that's where you, as a pillar, is very important. For those aspiring to lead, and if you're already leading, your priorities must be clear. And you must understand your strengths and what you need, both technically and financially, to create the conditions, not just for you, but for people around you, so that you can position yourself, stretch your capacity, and create empowerment for yourself and others. I'd like to come to the second pillar, and that's family. I would want to remind all the women here, you can't go alone. Your family is very, very important when we talk about empowering her and elevating all. Your spouses, your siblings, your parents, and the mentors around you help to shape your dreams, both as young girls and as STEM professionals already in the industry. Every day, I remind my children I'm a proud STEM mom and my mentees that they do not need to go this journey alone. They have to recognize the community of support around them, and that the structures on ground are helping them build the skills and the potential for solving complex problems, because that's what we do in STEM. What do we do? Solve complex problems. The third that I would like to focus on is the organization. At NNPC, we recognize that our roles is beyond energy production. We are the foundation of Nigeria's economic growth and technological advancement. We develop large-scale infrastructure. When you think about our big projects, the AKK, the OB3, they're just mind-blowing. And there's so many more in our portfolio. The deep water drilling, a lot of you engineers from APWEN work on these projects. That's what we do. We power innovation, data, and focus on advanced engineering capabilities. We cannot do this without the APWEN women in NNPC. Could you please give a round of applause for the APWEN women in NNPC? They're contributing in very varied fields, from reservoir engineering to our refinery operations to supply chain digitalization, from research and innovation to even corporate leadership. Their work is helping to shape the oil and gas industry, and they're committed to delivering efficiency, sustainability, and national development. For this, I personally am deeply grateful to the leadership of NNPC, led by engineer Bashir Bayo Ojulari, for creating an environment where women can contribute meaningfully and inspire to leadership. For the first time in NNPC, on the 9th of March, we launched our Women in NNPC network. Thanks to the support we got from the NNPC APWEN chapter and all the other women groups, that was made possible. Supported, of course, by our grand patron, the GCO himself. But we're not done yet. The journey is still long. Females account for about 20% of our workforce. And if we go by technical workforce, they're less than 20%. So there's still a lot of work to be done. And we're pushing the needle forward. To make progress, we need more women in STEM. And that's why I'm excited about the children in this room. Please clap for yourselves. I do hope that as you have come here, you would make a conscious decision to be a STEM leader. Are you committing to that? So to the young women who are studying in STEM fields, I want to say your presence matters. The world needs your curiosity, your creativity, and your courage to challenge assumptions. To wrap up, I would say organizations need to give back to the nation. APWEN and all the structures and societies need to give back. So let us therefore continue to give our knowledge, our mentorship, our support, our encouragement to the next generation of women engineers so they can gain the confidence and opportunity to lead the future of Nigeria. Together, let us continue to build a future where talent knows no gender, opportunity knows no barrier, and progress is shared by all. Thank you very much.
Please, another round of applause for her. Thank you so much, Ma, for that wonderful remarks. Next, we'll now proceed to school pitch presentations, where selected schools will showcase their ideas and aspirations. So permit me to welcome Engineer Catherine Bada as she leads this segment. Thank you. A round of applause for her, please.
Thank you, Amina. In continuation with the program, would like to have 4 schools up here give their pitches on STEM education. I'd like to join me as I welcome Police Secondary School, Day Zuba. Please, a round of applause as they come up stage. Government Secondary School, Dutse. Another round of applause, please. Government Secondary School, Kubwa. And Junior Secondary School, Kubwa. These are students in the sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they'll be pitching on what it means to have STEM education, especially in the girl child. Thank you very much. Please. Okay, thank you very much. Before they introduce themselves, we'd like to remind our discussants here that school has a total of 5 minutes to put forward their pitch. All the best. We'll start with Police Secondary School. JD Zuba.
Distinguished members of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, respected teachers, honored guests, and my fellow students. My name is Beshel Uchechi. I am a student of the prestigious Police Day Secondary School, Day, Abuja. Somewhere in a classroom like mine, a young girl is holding a science textbook, reading about experiments she has never had the chance to perform. Because without laboratories, science remains only words on a page. And it's more than just facilities, it's the loss of opportunities, the unexplored potential, the curiosity that remains unanswered. We are losing the chance to discover. We are losing the opportunity to experiment. We are losing the possibility to create solutions for tomorrow. We are a generation of students waiting for a chance to show the world our ideas. But we have no proper laboratories to bring those ideas to life. We stand in classrooms where our hands itch to work, but our minds know there is no equipment, no resources, no environment for those hands to create. When we miss the opportunity to experiment, we miss the chance to learn by doing. We lose the ability to test theories, to explore new horizons, and to build a future that reflects the potential of every curious mind in this room. And that is why I asked today, what if I told you that no one succeeds alone? Not a nation, not a company, not a movement, not even a dream. Every great achievement in history began with one powerful decision, the decision to collaborate. The theme for today's celebration, Give to Gain, reminds us that when individuals and organizations give their support and partnership, the society gains growth and progress. History has shown us this truth. When Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala partnered with global institutions to strengthen Nigeria's economy, the nation gained credibility and global respect. When Dora Akunyili collaborated with agencies to fight counterfeit drugs, Nigeria gained safer healthcare. And when telecommunication engineer Funke Opeke built broadband infrastructure, She showed how engineering innovation can transform societies. Distinguished members of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, we humbly invite you to collaborate with us in building a well equipped science laboratory and an ICT hub in our school. A modern science laboratory will allow students to move beyond memorizing formulas and begin experimenting, discovering, and innovating. An ICT hub equipped with computers, internet access, and digital learning tools will help students develop skills in develop skills in develop digital and technological skills needed in today's world. With these facilities, STEM education will become more practical, creative, and inspiring for young students, especially young girls who dream of becoming engineers and scientists. Many of the great women engineers we celebrate today once sat in classrooms just like ours, with curiosity in their minds and big dreams in their hearts. The difference between a dream and a discovery is often the opportunity to learn, experiment, and be guided by those who came before us. With this collaboration, when we create lasting impact. You will inspire young girls to pursue careers in engineering and technology. You will strengthen STEM education and innovation in schools. You will guide and mentor the next generation of female engineers. You will you will expand your mission of empowering women in engineering and technology. With this collaboration, our school can grow into a center for scientific learning, creativity, and technological innovation. Because the scientists and engineers who will solve tomorrow's problems are sitting in classrooms today. All they need is the opportunity to experiment. Thank you. For me and my classmates, this is not just a speech. It is a plea. It is a call from the students in our school. We need support. We need encouragement. We need confidence. And this can only be done if you can really see, touch, and do real experiment. Thank you.
Your time is up. Um,
What if I tell you today? What if I tell you today that in my school we have people that will build the next smartphones, find the cure for a disease, and design the next cities of tomorrow, but we are not giving them the tools to unlock their potential? Hey everyone, my name is Odini Agrosolajo. With me here, Abdulaziz Azimat, James Chinchelo Kachi, Idoga Emanuela, James Edro Praise. Together with my team, we're here to tell you that STEM education can be much more than it is right now. Here's the thing, many of us we just think that STEM is a bunch of hard formulas and boring textbooks. We cram for tests, but we don't really know why we're learning that stuff. And that's the problem. Because STEM isn't just a set of subjects, it is how we solve our problems, build our futures, and make more sense of the world. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Grace. Let me start with something that's gonna hit you hard. Because the truth about STEM education is something no one's been brave enough to say out loud until now. Here's the problem, and I want every single one of you to hear me out. Sorry. Right now, we are treating students to be test takers, not problem solvers. We are giving them piece of knowledge, but nowhere to build around them. We are preparing them for exams that will be forgotten in a week, but not for a world that needs them to build the future. It's costing us more than we can ever imagine. Let me prove that to you. Firstly, we've lost 10 in separate boxes. A student can ace algebra but have no idea how it ties to math. Number search engines gives us what we need. Right now, we are treating students to be Right now, our students collect facts like trophies, but never how to use them like tools. Secondly, we strip STEM of it so. When was the last time a student in my school got to actually solve a problem that matters to them? When did we show them that the physics they memorize is what lets astronauts go to space? Right now, STEM feels like a choice, not the most exciting, powerful to humanity has ever created to understand and shape our world. Furthermore, we are wasting talent every single day when we have students who could be the next life-saving device sitting bored at the back in a class. When we have students who could write basic code, but no, and oh, we never let them learn that way. Where the truth is, the future of STEM depends on people like them, bringing about new perspective and ideas. But here is the good news. Here is the good news. Every single one of these problems is fixable, and we are yet to bring the change.
Teacher training and support. Many schools lack teachers who are well trained in STEM subjects. Teacher needs regular training to teach science, technology, engineering, and mathematics effectively. How to solve it? Provide modern teaching methods like project-based learning. Imagine students building robots to solve real-world problems, creating apps to address community needs. STEM subjects require practical learning, but many schools do not have the practical learning materials and enough learning materials. With enough resources, students can learn STEM topics at their own speed and reinforcing understanding and building confidence. That is why to improve STEM education, we need training, we need good teachers, we need good school facilities, enough learning materials, good and strong government support. Thank you.
Let me cut straight to the point why our approach is the best solution for solving the STEM problems we're facing. The answer is clear. Every other approach tends to fix one, but we fix the whole thing. First off, every lesson connects across math, science, tech, and engineering. When a student learns ratio in mathematics, our app automatically shows them
30 seconds more.
how those ratios are used in solving and mixing chemicals.
With trained teachers, students don't just learn, they become problem solving superheroes. No more boring lectures, just epic science adventures.
So let's stop teaching for today's exam and start building for tomorrow's future. With your help, we'll turn our screen to a place where STEM doesn't just live in classrooms, it comes alive in every student. Thank you for believing in us.
Time up.
Good evening, moderators, educators, and my fellow students. We are here to discuss on the innovative ideas and practical solutions that can enhance the quality of education and improve students' engagement in STEM. Imagine a student who can recite complex formulas in physics and mathematics, yet cannot explain how these formulas can be applied into real-life situations. This is the reality of many classrooms today. Students are often trained to memorize information to pass exams rather than truly understand and apply what they learn. Education should prepare students not only to succeed in tests, but to solve real problems. The gap between practice and theory is real. We must bridge it. If students are not taught how to think, experiment, and apply knowledge, innovation and creativity will become limited. In order to build a generation where we can solve problems, we need to change our education system from memorization to practical learning and critical thinking. Nowadays, students interest in STEM education, especially in developing countries, to global research, UNESCO, only about 30% of students choose STEM-related careers. With 30% of students pursue STEM-related careers, not because they're not intelligent, no, but because the educational system failed to engage them properly. Many students see math as difficult, see science as abstract, see technology as something only geniuses understand. I tell you today, the next great scientist, the next great innovator, the next great engineer is already sitting in a classroom waiting for the right team to grow. Now I ask you this question: what do we do? How do we make STEM education more than what just students fear? Transform it to something they love. We all know that STEM education is the backbone of our future career and the driving force behind innovation. So how can we make STEM more engaging and effective in our school? Firstly, through project-based learning. We can apply STEM concepts to real-world problems, fostering critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. Imagine creating sustainable solutions for our community, or designing innovative products, or even creating apps to solve everyday challenges. In this situation, we can apply what we have learned, explore new ideas, and create something tangible. For example, you can build bridges with popsicle sticks to understand engineering concepts or create a mini garden to learn more about ecosystems. Secondly, by unleashing the power of gamified learning, we can make learning fun and engaging with interactive tools, games, and simulation. Picture students racing to solve math problems, exploring virtual worlds, or competing in robotics competition to ignite curiosity and passion. Imagine a virtual reality experience that transports you to the frontiers of space exploration, where you can launch and design your own spacecraft. Next, school should encourage practical learning instead of only theoretical learning. Science is not something we should just read in textbook. It's something we should see, touch, and experiment. When students perform experiments in laboratories, build simple machines, and conduct science projects, they understand the concept faster and remember them longer. Lastly, mentorship. Mentorship is very important. Schools should invite STEM professionals such as doctors, engineers, and technology experts to speak to students. When students hear success stories, they become inspired and see STEM as an achievable goal. Girls in STEM, digital unstoppable, unleashed, unapologetic, heroes, the of today. To together to improve our girls, we are not just there. To go for our because people school by improving our curiosity to innovation. Ambition, cycle of speaker, and make science, technology, engineering, and math the habit of learning. In conclusion, education should go beyond memorizing theories. Students should be able to apply knowledge into practical solutions and impact their society. By integrating STEM into education, we can transform classroom into a place where students not only learn facts, but think, experiment, and innovate for the future. So, yeah, let's to make STEM education more than just learning, but to organize as a student. Thank you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and my fellow students. My name is Eitefeka Chizaram Emanuela from Junior Secondary School Kuba 1, and I am honored to address a critical issue which affects us all, which is enhancing the quality of education of STEM subjects in our school. The importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics cannot be overlooked. In today's rapidly evolving world, STEM plays a crucial role in Nigeria's growth and development. It drives innovation, fuels economic growth, and equips students with skills necessary to compete globally. However, we face several challenges on impacting quality STEM education, such as inadequate infrastructure, insufficient teachers training, and limited resources, which hinders our efforts. Many schools lack access to basic facilities like laboratory, libraries, and equipment, making it difficult for students to engage effectively with STEM subjects. For instance, typical Nigerian classroom lack access to basic equipment like calculator, microscope, or computer, limiting hands-on learning experience. To address this issue, we must prioritize teachers' training and development. Equipping teachers with new modern-day teaching methods and technology will enable them to deliver more effective and engaging lessons. This can be achieved through regular workshop, training programs, and partnership with international organizations. For example, partnership with organizations like the Nigerian Mathematical Center of the African Institute of Mathematical Science can provide teachers with cutting edge technologies and resources.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, prestigious educators and students. My name is Afmifna Praise Chimamanda, a student of Junior Secondary School Kuba 1, and I'm here to speak on what I think can be done to enhance the quality of education in STEM subjects in our schools. As we know, as we know today, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are very important areas in the society, globally, to the economy of Nigeria and to the rest of the world. This is why all hands are to be on deck to improve the quality of education on STEM subjects. Science which entails topics like chemical reactions, space science, and so on is an area that needs not just theory but also practical work. Student needs an environment where they don't just learn to pass but also to understand and put it to work. This is why there is need for a well-equipped infrastructure like science laboratory where students don't just read textbooks but learn through practical through using concrete materials. Technology touches areas like digital literacy, which entails coding and programming, computer essentials like spreadsheet packages and presentations. especially packaging and presentation, and artificial intelligence. These are an area that also needs theory and practical learning. This is why there is need for a well-equipped computer laboratory and well-trained teachers. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Continuing from where my partner stopped, I would like to ask everyone a question. Please, how many of you have used an app, checked the weather through your phone, or used electricity? Please signify. Please, as we can all see, that every convenience of modern life is rooted in STEM, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the mathematics. Now, we know our school has a strong foundation, but the world is changing fast. To keep pace, we must enhance how we teach and learn STEM subjects, moving from learning about science to doing science. Now, we can't afford to overlook or ignore the barriers we have about connecting STEM subjects to students. Barriers like students' fear of math or the feeling that
1 minute more.
science is only for junior students. We must show the society and the students that STEM isn't just about becoming an engineer. It's about building problem solving skills, resilience, and innovation thinking to help the students from each career from arts to business.
What can we do as a student? As a student, students should join STEM clubs and ask questions and explore. What can we do as a teacher? A teacher should focus on problem solving skills for the children. What can we do as a school? A school should support STEM programs and get resources.
In conclusion, promoting STEM is not just about teaching mathematics and science. It's about building a generation that can think critically, innovate boldly, and solve the challenges of tomorrow. By promoting practical learning, teachers' development.
Thank you. Time up. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have all heard from our brilliant and erudite students. I hope we take these words, not just their speeches, but the deep thoughts that they have laid bare to us this afternoon. Thank you very much. Can we give a round of applause to this? Okay. Thank you. A round of applause for our dear students. I've been given instruction by the chairman of the occasion, and permit me to say this, and I'll do that. So, when we were planning this International Women's Day, of course, we always have the children, the students amongst us, but we now thought, let them come and give us a pitch. We wanted to give them what to speak on. When I slept over it, I said, why? Let them come and tell us what is bothering them. And it is by listening to them that we will be able to infer what to do to give back so that they can gain. So I believe that we've been able to listen, especially all our stakeholders, and you have something to go back with. Some of them say they don't have laboratories, some say they want modern educational facilities, and others say that the teachers need to be trained. And you agree with me that some teachers are actually in the profession because of lack of work. So they just found themselves there, not that they want to. But if you see those that are gifted to be teachers, you don't doubt their ability, but they need to be supported, you understand, by having some training, 1 month training outside, which also APWEN is looking at to see how we can do that in the 6 geopolitical zones to empower the teachers. Our past president, the 15th president, Engineer Gubata, she did that. Some teachers were taught and all those things, and I think it's still work in progress. So we will not relent, we will continue. But please, because you have heard them, APWEN is open to receive you. We are the platform you can use to reach out to these schools and many more schools, even in your community. It mustn't be in Abuja. But now, did you hear them? They spoke as if they were coming from a private schools. Please, a round of applause for our public schools. And a round of applause for our teachers. Teachers, thank you for what you are doing. They were speaking fluently. coordinated. And you can see some of them, of course, they've been attending most of our programs, pitching here and there. So that confidence is there. So thank you, fathers, mothers, sisters, aunties, for being here. So we got to call the Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi to come and give a word. He said he will be leaving here soon. So we want to have his presence here and hear what he has to say to the women.
No, both children and women. I say both children and women because the hall has the children and then the hall had their mothers present. It was good. In fact, I was a governor. I was a governor at the age of 42. I should climb up. I was a governor at the age of 42. And the greatest encounter I had was how to train the children. The problem we have is that you Nigerians don't know we have a problem. Let me give you one example of the problem we have. So you have militants, you have armed robbers, you have bandits, right? I hope you know they are married. I hope you know they are married. I hope you know they are producing children. What's happening to those their children? They are either trained in the schools or they are trained in banditry. What does it mean? It simply means that banditry will not stop. The only way banditry will stop is an effort by government to take away those children from them first, before you either start killing them or before you start retraining them. But first and foremost, they are beyond the age of retraining. They are. That's what I did in Rivers State to be able to end the insecurity in Rivers State. Insecurity has different dimensions. They have the dimension of hunger and poverty. In the case of Nigeria, Rivers State was mostly hunger and poverty. In the case of Nigeria, religion. Rivers State won't be religion. We are 95, 99% Christians. The 1% or less than 1% Muslims are not noticeably enough to cause religious crisis in Rivers State. So Rivers State crisis was essentially that of hunger and poverty. So once I addressed hunger and poverty, took away the children, provided for them free education, and then I invited a company from India. As I was building schools, I invited a company from India to manage those schools. When they started managing, the primary schools were managed by Nigerians. The secondary schools were managed by Indians. When they started managing, I said, hire teachers. They advertised for teachers. We hired 13,200 teachers all over the state. But for those secondary schools that were built specially for as model secondary schools, the Indians came back to me and said, we did not see science teachers. We had to import, let me use the word import. We had to import science teachers from where? From India. In each school, we provide accommodation for all the teachers. I copied it from my son's school when my son was schooling in the UK. You will not see your son until the end of the session or the term. So they had top-up shops, they had hosted, they had everything they wanted, and they enjoyed. You don't give him more than £100. So that £100 is in case his provision finish it. Then he goes to the top-up shop with the £100 and buys something. So that's what I had in my idea in building the secondary schools I built in Rivers State. So we did all that in Rivers State. And then we said the difference between my son's school and the Rivers State was education was free. What is free education? Nigerian politicians will declare free education without one infrastructure, without anything other than payment of salary. I assured the school I will pay the school fees of all the children. So every year, I paid 888 million naira per school to the Indians. So they paid themselves from there. They ran the school from there. Everybody had free education. Each child had a tablet. Why am I telling you this? These children will be science graduates with mouth, without seeing computer, except the one their parents will give them at home. I was talking to your president. I said, did they tell you that I had a clash with Nigerian Society of Engineers when I was a minister? She said, yes. She said, I should repeat it here. I said, no, I don't want quarrel. Because we had the full, we were ready for quarrel. We quarreled heavily in the room that day. Quarreled. What was it? Oh, you're not using it. Use you for what? What will I use you for? I said, show me one building in Nigeria, iconic building built by Nigerian engineers. Show me one. If you show me one, I'll hire you. They couldn't. Okay, we're here. Show me one. It is iconic building. Even me and my son, we can build this. We're not engineers. The where the president lives was not built by Nigerian engineers. Ordinary the cabinet meeting hall. All the equipment there were imported from outside. With a foreigner standing like this, and Nigerian engineers were working, but just foreigner standing like this, doing nothing. Do you know why? Supervision. But that's not why we're going to distract ourselves. Forget what happened between me and the Nigerian Society of Engineers. In fact, I was surprised that I was called to the front seat. I'm determined to sit at the back anywhere there are engineers, because I don't want further quarrels. But the point I'm making is, we asked ourselves the question in Rivers State government when I was the governor: what will these children do if they want to be engineers when they have not seen any equipment? So from primary schools, we bought them tablets. We insisted that they must see all those things. We did that. We went to secondary schools. We made sure that all the labs were equipped. All. When we now said, okay, these students will graduate as digital students, what happens to the university? Nigerian universities, have you been there as governor? When they finish presenting to us in the villa, that they use candle for experiment in Nigerian universities. That's why I blame the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And you allow those people to become members of Nigerian Society of Engineers? People who are not properly trained? It's just like medical doctors. They become butchers if they're not properly trained. So I asked that question, that what happens if we train all these children with computers and everything, they need all the labs and everything, and they come out, they go to Imo State University, Rivers State University of Science and Technology, Abiasu, Ondo State University. What nonsense is that? So we began to build a new university that is supposed to be digital from the moment you enter the gate. Go to the seaport in Lekki. I built it. The seaport in Lekki is digital. You won't see the market you see at Apapa. It's digital. As you punch your goods come out. Ask them. So, children, Nigeria has no place for you. They're just teaching you something to come and recite here. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't want to come up. 2 more minutes, I will leave. Let me leave this education thing. I didn't come for here. I came to ask you women a question. How many of you today can tell me that your life 10 years ago is better than your life now? How many of you? How many? Your life 10 years ago is better than now, right? Okay, which means that is bad, eh? Okay, so she's the only person whose life is not good. All of you are enjoying. You have NEPA. But that's the question I asked. She was the only person who raised her hand that her previous life was better than now. And what have you done? What have you done? You allow politicians to continue to steal your money and you do nothing. I'm one of them. I'm a politician. I've never denied that. Have I ever told you I'm not a politician? There is no politician that has come to serve you. Everybody you see there has come to steal money. The person who has not come to steal money should come forward. But if you do nothing, it will continue. May God bless you, because I'm going.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
I want to appreciate the Right Honorable Chibuike Amici for what he has said, but I would like to respond to you, sir. But in the response, or the Nigerian Society of Engineers would like to respond to you. But please, apologies to the panelists. Just give us 5 minutes and we'll have you up there. I'm going to call on the past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers to respond. I like frank talks, but we should also take responsibility for what we have done to destroy what is on ground. And the Nigerian Society of Engineers is a respectable society, I'll tell you, sir. There were engineers who were never given opportunities, excelled beyond the Indians you brought from India to come and teach. If you had looked better or looked more even into other states, I'm sure you'd have had good science teachers. We have them, but we're not searching for them. Engineer Kasim Ali, please, I'd like you to just speak for 3 minutes response. And
I'll make it short. Incidentally, he was governor when I was president of the NSC. And when I visited him, I gave some pieces of advice, which he didn't take, but he regretted later. He owned up himself, because when an NTA program where he said he should have done something which he didn't do, which is one of the things you may not remember that I advised you on that. Anyway, the problem with iconic structures generally, they are not things that individuals go in and invest in, except those who are really loaded. And they are not usually professionals anywhere in the world where you have iconic structures are done by government or corporate organizations. But for us, even as bad as you think we are, the iconic buildings like Federal Secretariat Lagos, they used to call it Art Alade Design. That is the name. The 2004. And then there's also the building, or I don't know the name they gave it now, around the connection Falomo, as you come down from Falomo. Those are also iconic structures that were there in Lagos at that time. Even the Necon building, the structural was done by the past president of Nigerian Society of Engineers. The structural engineering is not all about starting one person starting and ending. You have it in fragment. You have engineers who are consultants who do only design. There are those who are on site who do construction. There are those who are in the academics. So you judge them according to what the responsibility they have. So this is it. But there's a structure, an iconic structure that was there in this country from A to Z by Nigerian engineers. That is the Makurdi Bridge. Before, Makurdi had only one bridge, the railway bridge. That's what the vehicles were used. But in 78, President Obasanjo, as head of state, challenged Nigerian engineers, and they formed a company called ROCON, Road Construction Nigeria. They did that design and constructed it. After that, unfortunately, the company was shut down. So the record, so if you are taking a car from here to Port Harcourt in your life before, you use a bridge that was done by Nigerian engineers in Makurdi. Wholly done by Nigerian engineers. So there are a few other things that have been done. But the problem is, even the second Niger bridge, the first design was done by Nigerian engineers. Jerry Husseini as minister wanted something iconic. So we designed a structure that had both railway and roadway. The design was submitted to government. It was paid for. The leader of that team is not dead yet. He's about 90 years old now. He lives in Ibadan, but he's from Akwa Ibom. Ete led the team, the design team that did that design. The designs are there with government. So it's not really that Nigerians don't have capacity, but everywhere in the world, governments challenge people. We model Abuja after Brazil. Brasilia, most of the iconic structures are done deliberately. None here. If I wanted to do some, unfortunately, if we don't have enough time to do it, we don't have any iconic structure, even in Nigeria, let alone say Nigeria is doing one. Where do we have iconic structure in Nigeria? Nothing. Even our railway system, even the buildings, we wanted the ability to represent cultures. Nothing happened. We left it to the Chinese, and it was only the minister ordering the Chinese around. He didn't even recognize the Nigerian engineers that are working with him, unfortunately. It's true, very true. It's you. It's you. I went to your office with a
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Thank you very much, sir, for honoring us. She's around. We thank you for coming, and we believe that you see that Nigerian engineers, and even the women who are in the hall here, are brilliant intelligent engineers who have put beauty and brain together. And if given opportunity by government or challenge, let me use the word challenge, to do something, the Nigerian engineer will always deliver. I'm sure the former minister will attest to that. When you were in aviation, you work with Nigerian engineers a lot. And exactly, of names of people. Actually, that is one of the reasons why we talk here. We need to start calling names of Nigerian engineers who have excelled and who are still excelling. So I hope you will go back, sir, to know that Nigerian engineers, sorry, sir, I hope you will live here believing and be an advocate for the Nigerian engineer, that they are the best Nigeria can ever have. Given the opportunity, I'm sure we can do it. Thank you so very much. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy President NSC, and also past President, Engineer K.A. Ali, for that outstanding response. Thank you very much, sir. Give to gain, empower her, empower all. We're going into our panel session now. This session has brought together seasoned professionals from academia, industry, and also professional bodies. But to do justice to this, and also to introduce the panelists to the stage, I'll call no other person than a lecturer, petroleum and gas engineering at the Bayes University, Abuja, one of our own, Dr. Daminola Victoria Abraham. You're welcome.
Thank you, Engineer Amina. So our time is fast spent. I would want to invite the moderator of the panel session, no other person than Engineer Yetunde Aladeito, PhD, FNSC, FNSCHE. So I'll read a citation. Dr. Yetunde Aladeito is a distinguished leader in engineering, renowned for integrated expertise spanning academia, industry, and professional governance. A fellow of both the NSC and NSCHE, she serves as the director of the Energy Research Center at the University of Abuja and an associate professor of petroleum engineering in the same university. With over 26 years of experience, academic credentials include a PhD in petroleum engineering and a master's in oil and gas engineering from the UK, which she applies to research in reserve optimization and sustainable energy. In parallel, she provides strategic leadership as managing consultant at Okay. In recognition of her exceptional contributions, she has been nominated to receive the prestigious Outstanding Woman in Energy Award, celebrating her influence and dedication to shaping the future of engineering in Nigeria and internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Yetunde Aladeito.
Thank you very much. The president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masuri Rabiu, FNSE, ably represented by the Deputy President, Engineer Valerie Feku Agbiragba, FNSE,
Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to align with the already well established protocol. Our time is fast spent, so I'll just quickly run over the abridged citation that I have. If you want the full citation is in the brochure. In no particular order, I would like to invite Mr. Declan Nwokoro, who is ably represented by Engineer Hawal Ibrahim, the ED Gas Distribution NGML, please. Mr. Nwokolo is a distinguished financial expert and the MD of NGML. He brings over 30 decades of experience in the oil and gas accounting and auditing. His leadership was instrumental in establishing NGML as the dominant force within the NNPC conglomerate. Known for his professionalism, Mr. Nwokoro has also completed numerous executive leadership programs beyond his professional life. He's a family man who enjoys traveling and playing. Please, let's applaud him. Thank you. Secondly, I'd like to invite Engineer Professor Adiola Olubenga, MNSE. She's a distinguished academic and a chemical engineer at the University of Abuja. Her primary research focuses on characterizing sedimentary rock and simulations for industrial surface facilities. She is a dedicated mentor. She actively guides young engineers, particularly those aspiring to excel in the oil and gas sector. Our research is garnered international recognition, including an award at the 2017 Oil and Gas Conference in Qatar. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Professor Adiola Olubenga. Thirdly, I'd like to invite to the podium Mrs. Valentina Marinho. She's a highly accomplished commercial leader with over 28 years of experience in the global LNG. Her distinguished career previously saw her as the head of LNG operation at the Nigeria NLNG, where she was previously instrumental in implementing multi-billion-dollar sales and purchase agreements, managing international buyer relationship, and optimizing sales across global markets. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mrs. Valentina Marinho. Fourthly, I'd like to invite Engineer Babatunde Omotoba, PhD, FNSE, FCA. He's also a chartered accountant, a fellow chartered accountant. He is a first-class honors graduate of civil engineering, a fellow of both the Nigerian Society of Engineers and Institute of Chartered Accountants. He was the former Minister of Aviation, the former Managing Director, CEO of Entel, and he holds an MBA from Northwestern University and a PhD in Business Administration, both from the USA. His career is marked with success in driving infrastructural investment. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Babatunde Omotoba. I'd also like to invite to the podium Architect Ene Agada, a member of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. She's the chair of the Female Architect of Nigeria. Please, let's applaud her as she approaches. She's an accomplished architect with over 2 decades of experience in design, supervision, urban development, whose career exemplifies leadership and excellence in the Nigerian built society. She's recognized among the 50 influential African women architects. Her affiliations are MNIA, ARCON, MNIM, FIMC, which reflects her unwavering commitment to ethical practice and professional excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to applaud her. I'd also like to invite to the podium ESB Agbalaya Toyin Titilayo, who is ably represented here by ESB Esther A.B. Tuashe. She is a distinguished estate surveyor and valuer with a higher national diploma in estate management from the Polytechnic of Ibadan. Her elevation to fellowship of NISB reflects her exceptional contributions to the profession. Engineer Agbalan continues to be a formidable force in advancing the estate surveying profession in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you ESV Agbalaya Toyin Titilayo, ably represented by ESV Esther Suashi. Thank you. Oh, all right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to this very important part of this program, which is the panel session. And we are all aware of the theme of the panel, the International Women's Day campaign theme for this year is Give to Gain. And so today we'll be talking about Elevate Her, Elevate All. If you notice, empower her, elevate all. So we're not only talking about just empowering her and elevating her, we're talking of elevating all. So it means that when you actually empower a woman, you are empowering everyone. When you elevate a woman, you are elevating everyone. So today we have a distinguished team of panelists who will be sharing their thoughts on this area of discourse from their various perspectives. So in no particular order, I'd like to start with the representative of Engineer Awal Ibrahim. Okay. So my question to you is, as a leader in the technical and male-dominated gas distribution sector, what does Give to Gain mean from a corporate leadership perspective?
Thank you, moderator, and good afternoon, everyone. Just simply put, the Give to Gain for us from the leadership perspective is really around investing in people in today's planning for business growth in the future. So for us in NGML, we believe in investing in people, and I'll put it very simply by giving just a small narrative. When we resumed sometime last year, when we took we found out is there are just very few female within the business. As the GCO said earlier, just less than 20% are female. And if you come to the SBU level where we operate, we see less than that number, less than 3% actually. So if you come drill down into the core technical space where I lead, I don't think I have more than 3 female. I have a few of them in the room here today. Please just wave if you're here. Just 2 of them. And very recently, we got recruitment of young engineers. About 30 of them were sent to the gas distribution unit. And guess what? Just 1 of them is an engineer. So for us in NGMA, what we're doing deliberately really is to invest in people, to create that enabling environment, to kind of create that awareness. First, you talk about mentorship, you could talk about training, all those exist, and we're following through with those processes, right? But what else can we do to enhance or foster that environment to give these women the opportunity in a place where you have men dominate? Now, if you go to the field, we have over 140 stations spread across the country. In all of these facilities, when you go there, there are no female. And when you go to the change room, you go to the restroom, there's no demarcation or clear cut-out segregation to say these are for female, these are for male. So what we're doing deliberately as in NGML is to create that awareness. So we started with our LMS station, where we kind of create where the speedway operators sleep, for instance. We have to demarcate to see where the females stay and where the gentlemen stay. Same for the restroom. Now, if you go further into the workspace, what we do is also to encourage collaboration, because engineering is so interesting. Interesting in the sense that it's the only profession where you can't start a project and finish it alone. You must collaborate. So at the back of that collaboration, we're fostering that environment where we have people come together as a team to kind of meet some collective objective as a people, as a company, and as a business, to see how we can foster that environment. So what we're doing with that is, at the end of the day, we're beginning to see the female, the ladies within our portfolio coming to collaborate, coming to do more. Now, I can tell you for free, today in the business, we have lots of mentees that are non-engineers, most female, and they want to see what we do in the technical space. So I speak to you today, I have about 6 people reporting to me directly as mentees. I just want to, some of them are lawyers, some of them are accountants, and they all come to us just to kind of see how we collaborate with people. So I can tell you, as NGMA, we're investing significantly in this area to make sure we foster that environment, because from the experience that I have working with the female engineers, I think they give me more results, so to speak. I don't want to be frustrated when I get out of here, but then I it's a bit seamless working with them, right? So and coming back from my school days, I've had a leader of my department as a woman, right? So we must deliberately, as a business, as people, invest in this collaboration, because what it does is it opens us opportunity. You get to see things from different perspectives. So I'll pause here for a bit.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I like the part which you came up from, talking about, investments, mentorship, being deliberate, creating awareness. I think it's very important for us, even as women, to, be elevated. Quickly, my next question goes to Professor Olubenga. Prof, how did you navigate the path to becoming a professor in this highly specialized technical field? And what message does your journey send to the young women you mentor about the gains of persisting in STEM?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. It's not been a very funny journey for me, especially as a woman in engineering. My formative stage actually started when I was an undergraduate, where I entered into the engineering drawing room, and I was the only lady among 100 men. It was so intimidating, and the imposture syndrome was everywhere around me. Fast forward, let me narrate my formative experience. I got to the class after my first year in the university. I entered the university at a good age, and I was among that 100 men, just me, a female. And all of a sudden, our result came out that first year, and my CGPA was 4.7. Master, our level advisor came in and said, "Who is Grace?" He didn't need to ask that question, because obviously I'm Grace. I'm the only female he's seen there. He should have just probably called me, "Who are you?" And I just answered, "I'm Grace." And he brought me to the class and said, "Among all you men, what's happening?" So I looked at it and I said, "Why is this man intimidating me? We have about 8 students that are also female in chemical engineering." But that fateful day, I was the first female in the class, and he intimidated me. Since that day, I started getting intimidated. But something sprang up in me and said, "Am I going to continue reading engineering?" I said, "Okay, if I'm going to continue reading engineering because of this intimidation of imposture syndrome, that it's a world of the men, then I have to come to a point." What did I do? I decided to understand my engineering profession properly. During the SWEP, I realized that I had to do some late machining of my metals and cutting them. It was very difficult for me to do that. The male counterparts, they wouldn't want to do that. I remember we were welding. I think one of our mates I just saw here, where is she? Yeah, she's sitting right there. It was a funny time for us. We could not do the welding, ladies. Then we find it so difficult. Scenario did not end there. I went back again and said, "Am I going to read engineering?" To cut the long story short, I realized that engineering, from the life of the male practitioners that I've seen, which are those that are close to me, my 2 elder brothers, one a civil engineer, another one a mechanical engineer. Them. I said, "What do you do inside?" They said, "Follow me." I followed them. All I saw them doing were that they were very intellectual in managing the machines, and they were instructing the artisans appropriately. I said, "You mean you don't carry the metals?" They said, "Yes." "You mean you don't cut it?" They said, "Yes." It's the instruction that I give by my accurate design of engineering to the artisans that make them to do appropriate engineering design. And based on that, I said, is that engineering? Yes. So engineering to me, at that point that I was taking that critical decision, is the natural intelligence of a human being, not a male, understanding how physics, mathematics, and chemistry can be translated into engineering that's professed and is for the benefit of all human race. Having established that I need to be versed in physics, mathematics, and chemistry, I took to trying to understand better than being a first class student in the undergraduate classes. To cut the long story short, I give my credit to God. Now, as a lecturer, I harness this proper understanding of physics. I bring it to my laboratory, and immediately I enter the laboratory to inspect my students' research work. I'm able to bring my physics idea down to what they are doing in their research, and we're able to translate it to appropriate engineering practice. We put it in simulation, we also put it down in most of our research work, and it has come out. To me today, I am a PhD holder, I am an award winner of designing drilling process to help us to get our oil and gas in our reservoir. Now, during my PhD practice, another thing came to me. My work came out, and some of my results, the results I had, were questionable by my supervisors. So he decided to take my work to Qatar to test on their field. Is this lady's research work appropriate for real life practice? And to as we're going to have it, because I was reading in the UK, in University of Leeds at that time, it came back with a positive answer. In fact, of a truth, while they tested my results, they were able to find out that it worked for their oil well there. And they used that result in drilling their oil and gas, and they successfully got oil and gas. And as you are going to have it, he came back and he gave me an applause and said, I'm not seeing you as a woman anymore, but as a man.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. Support that had a very good one. Thank you. So basically, just talking about having a deliberate, putting in a deliberate effort if we want to excel in the field of engineering, and it's not about being a man or a woman. Thank you so much. Quickly, my next question goes to Valentina. Valentina, from your profile, I can see that your career is a testament to the power of technical and commercial acumen, from negotiating billion-dollar LNG contracts to advertising the EVP downstream. In your experience, what has been the biggest gift that propelled your own career? And was it an opportunity, a mentor, or a challenging assignment? And how do you think organization can deliberately give these catalysts to the next generation of female leaders in the energy sector?
Thank you very much for that question. I would not say there's been a particular event. The biggest catalyst in my career would stretch between opportunity, mentorship, sponsorship, and stretch assignment. I would like to pinpoint a point in my career when I was trusted into a very complex, high stakes assignment. I think, at the time, I thought I wasn't ready for it. But I guess my mentors and my sponsors realized that I was ready for it. So they trust me into this. And I realized that I stood up, I raised to the occasion. And I think that's what it is for most women. Early in my career, I have had to negotiate large business energy agreements, and it made me start thinking very strategically. One important aspect is the mentors you have, or should I say the sponsors, because they're the ones who put forward your name in rooms you are not at. They speak for you. So I would say it's being trust with the difficult job and stepping up to the plate. That's the opportunity, the stretch assignments, and then the mentorship and the sponsorship. I would like to say that for companies, deliberately put women in places that they would stretch because they have the capability. Put them where they can be shown up.
Sorry, Valentina, can you just pull the mic so that they can hear you at the back?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Put them where, oh, better. Put them where they can show up. Put them where their skills can be represented. And I think we should institutionalize sponsorship, not mentorship. I think we move on from mentorship, sponsorship, because where, especially for women, we have gone past mentorship. We need to have sponsors, people who would speak for you, people who put you in you need to be. I think that's where institutions also create exposure for strategic decision making, forums where women can make and learn how to make decisions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to say that I mean the importance of mentorship and sponsorship can really never be overemphasized. Having someone, to spotlight you, having someone to call your name in a room where you are not, is very important, and that's how many of us are where we are today. Not necessarily that we're the best, but because we had somebody to hold our hand, somebody to spotlight us and make sure that we are the best version of ourselves. Thank you so much. My next question goes to Dr. Omotoba. With your remarkable career spanning engineering, finance, and even a tenure as the Minister of Aviation, you've seen the full spectrum of how capital and infrastructure decisions are made. Now, from your vantage point in investment consulting, what is the gift gain equation for the nation? And how does investing in women's education, health, and economic participation translate into the kind of national infrastructure and GDP gains that you've worked to build? Thank you.
The NSC President, APQUEM President, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for having me again. I was here a few years ago to discuss negotiations, and I'm happy that I'm here again to discuss and learn this afternoon. The common equation is educate a woman, you educate a nation. And that saying is because of the exponential benefits that you get when you educate a woman. When you educate a man, it's just an individual, but an educated woman will most likely have fewer children, healthier children. She will take good care of them. They will break that cycle of poverty. I'll give you a good example. One of my family friends was at Federal Government Girls College, Bakori, many years ago, and the father was a professor in ABU's area. She got back home and told the dad, Dad, once I'm 16, I want to marry. And the father said, where did you get that idea from? He said, all my friends in class, they're saying once they finish secondary school, they'll get married. The father said, no. And so the father had to explain to her that that is not the right way for a young lady to go. He's a director at Loyola Medicine today with 2 children, and she's one of the senior directors in the Chicago area. So for us in Nigeria, we need to focus our girls. We need to focus our girls. We need to have a policy to discourage underage marriage. Because when children are allowed to go to school, girls are allowed to go to school, they can make better life choices themselves. And such investment is strategic because it will help with this gender equality that we're talking about. And of course, it will promote women in leadership. And of course, we will have better family. Supporting education of girls will actually help us to reduce our population growth. That is what it will do. And it will help us to reduce or forestall the pending disaster that we are all waiting for is coming. 2050, Nigeria will be 350 million to 400 million people. If we have 220 million people today and we have this kind of pressure on resources, on infrastructure, on insecurity, imagine when we have 400 million people. Imagine. So if we can actually focus on our girls and give them the right education, it will help Nigeria to actually forestall what is coming. And I believe that for us as stakeholders, we need to focus on all our girls. We just need to do it. And I pray that even as we do so, everyone will be able to be online, because in some societies, oh, when a woman have 9 children, they clap for her. But how do you take care of those 9 children? So please let us focus on our girls, and that will help the economy to grow. I've been opportuned in my life as a professional, training at Anderson during my professional days, to work with very brilliant, energetic women. And these women have gone on today to become captains of industry. Some of them have served as ministers, chairman FRS, commissioners. Some of them are MD of Lagos Free Zone. These are women that are contributing to the economy of Nigeria, and they are shaping our society. And for students that are here, you can be one of them. You can be one of them. Don't aspire to go and marry at 16. Aspire to be the best you can be, and you will become the best. Thank you.
Awesome. Aspire to be the best you can be the best. I think education, they always say, is the best legacy. And also the importance of policies can never be overemphasized. Policymakers, I don't know, I don't think we have policymakers here, but I mean, it's always good for us, when we advocate for things, to have people that can actually escalate, so that this will be written in black and white and becomes a policy. When you have policies, it means you're creating the right environment for female education to thrive. Thank you so much, sir, for that. Sharing your thoughts on that. My next question goes to ESV Esther Tuase. I hope I'm not murdering the name. My question is, access to capital is often a barrier for women entrepreneurs, particularly when it comes to collateral. Now, as an estate surveyor and valuer, what roles does your profession play in ensuring women-owned properties and assets are properly valued to unlock financing? And also, how can a more inclusive approach to property valuation elevate women-led businesses and, by extension, the broader economy? Thank you. I don't think that mic is working. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, the president of APEM, for putting this together. This is needed for our time as this. The students were here saying what they need. We have land, but the land is not accessible to the common women who are the pivot of the society. Like he just rightly said, that the women should be put in entrepreneurial decision making. So we, as Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuer, the women wing, our advocacy is to make sure that we acquire lands through the government. I wish Amechi was here, but he had left, to have given us land instead of importing foreigners, and brings engineers and all other professionals to build what we call modern houses with renewable energy, because we all know that AEDC has been on the decline. And so what we need to make women have houses is to make sure that we integrate policies, like Dr. Engineer Yetunde said, and make policies whereby we build houses, putting into consideration the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuer, guiding with engineers and other professionals, that we build houses that can have what we call satisfy energy, usable energy, that will help us to be able to generate. Women have the capacity to multiply because they have been created by default as a help to the society, like the lady from the NNPC told us, help to the society, help to the family, help to the community. And when you're able to get these three hats together, it will connect towards GDP growth of the nation. So what we do
as estate surveyors and valuer is to what? Value such property. You know, when you value those property in the community where they are, that are human for the women, it cannot go to the bank. They can give them money because you know land cannot disappear overnight. Also property. And this will give the women opportunity to be able to do projects and also ideas to develop things. So some banks are waking up, but they are not doing much because what they give out are just peanuts. We need a lot of money in the billions to build, like what she rightly said, a drilling energy oil firm to drill by the women for the economy instead of we importing refined fuel. We know what is happening now. A lot of the oil right now had to do with the war happening in Iran because we depend solely on importation, and we have a brain seated there who can help us to build a refinery. So it is high time that government put women into decision making, and that way we can be able to have land apportions to women. For instance, in the north, we are here in the north, we have vast land in the northern part that we can develop energy farm, solar based energy farm to power agriculture, and also the communities that will benefit from there, from raw production. Like one of the students said, you have a greenland farming where you can sustain from this renewable energy. So our role here is to advocate for government through the institution to create more lands for the women so that women can go into agriculture, they can go into oil, fishing, and other things, and also product based uh, um, products to be able to bring into the economy and make resources, financial resources available for the women.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, I mean, let's give a round of applause. Basically, things I could get where you're talking about advocacy, the importance. I think APWEN also for an advocacy group, and also just like you re-echoed the thoughts of Dr. Motoba talking about the import of policies and also the importance of collaboration, especially among women group. You know, like I tell you, the perspective a woman will bring to a particular issue is always different. So it's very important for us, even as women, to collaborate, women in the built industry, women in engineering, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much. Um, uh, Next question goes to architect Agada. Architect Agada, as a female architect, you bring unique perspective to the design of spaces traditionally dominated by men, such as industrial plants, refineries, and energy infrastructure. How can women in architecture give by reimagining these spaces to be more inclusive and functional for the women who will work in them? What do we gain when female voices shape the very structures of our sector? Thank you.
Um, thank the APWEM president and her team for organizing this laudable event. Um, 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 in trying in addressing this question which you just thrown to me, I would like to say that um, when the architects are designing these structures, just like somebody mentioned here, the first speaker, he said there are few women in this industry, and most people idea is that the industry is limited to men. In fact, designs of buildings in Nigeria, women are hardly considered. When if you go to many offices, you will see that the designs are just um, they're just generic. Nothing is taken into consideration, thinking about the woman. So I think as a female architect and chair of FAN, I would like to encourage designs that think about including women in this design. Designs where women will feel safe, design where women will have access, not just design that are proportional scaled, because sometimes you may design in such a way that, for example, if you are designing this kind structures, and then they require equipment to be positioned, and probably people cannot even access that those equipment because of the way they are placed, and sometimes the people just feel that it's mostly men that are going to use these buildings and so on. So accessing some of these equipment, sometimes it could be clumsy. But if they're positioned in such a way that they are easily accessible, we like it or not, women are unique and our physique are unique in such a way can squeeze himself. When you make a woman to be squeezing herself, it becomes very awkward. So, and when these designs are done properly to scale, and these equipments are positioned, the woman feels safe. She can navigate her activities properly. They those designs will serve her better, and also this design should also be flexible in such a way that it can invite things like childcare, daycare, and so on, because whether we like it or not, the woman will definitely probably when she starts work, maybe she's not married, and then probably she just got married before starting work. She's going to nurse babies and so on. Her mind will be more at rest if these buildings have daycare and nursing facilities. And also because most of the probably when you go to some of these, especially the older ones, the conveniences, the changing room, because some of them require people they leave their houses, they don't dress in their safety gears and all that in their what they use to work. They might need to change. These changing rooms need to be need to have the ones for the females, where females can easily change and all that. And also, before you start the design, you need to know how women that are working in these spaces, how they feel. You need to engage them. You need to engage the frontline workers and operators that are females to know their needs, so that you can build it into what you are doing. That way they'll be represented in the design. If not, you find yourself just designing a generic building that does not meet the needs of the female workers that are there.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
that was-
Thank you so much.
okay.
So apologies, please. We don't have enough time because we have to take a second round
Okay.
of question. But thank you so much. Please let's applaud her. I know one thing. One thing I always think about is, why is it that when they build big houses, because I always love the big kitchen, and then at the end of the day you have a mansion, massive rooms, and then the kitchen that is like the woman's safe space that she really wants to go around. Many of us dream of this big kitchen that we can have maybe a dining table and things. We never get it, and because they don't consider the needs of women a lot of times. So please, that's a very good point. Thank you so much. Quickly, I'll go back to Engineer Awal. Engineer Awal, this theme that we're talking about today is actually suggests that empowering women is a catalyst for broader societal good. And as a leader in a major parastatal, what unique responsibility do you feel NNPC Limited and NGML can have to give as opportunities that empower women, not just within the company, but across the value chain? Thank you.
All right, thank you. At first, I must say that I think we must, as business people, we must tell ourselves the truth. Empowering people really must connect to your business. It must have a measurable business outcome, right? So that's why for us, it's a very deliberate engagement that we do. Over the last 3 years as NGML, we have trained over 300 women in the areas that we operate. And
I think we should applaud them. That's a good one.
So typically what we do is we go to those communities where we operate, and because hearing the students talk today, we know these challenges happen in our societies, and we must recognize where we operate, where this classroom don't even exist. Most of these people live by petty trading, small businesses, etc. So what we do deliberately as NGML is to empower women around the areas that all the areas that we have businesses, to train them into vocational trainings, and we also give them startup hubs, so to speak. So every year we do that. I think this year we have another program that's going to increase that number to about 400. So, but I think overall, being in this room, I've seen an opportunity, because wherever we go, we try to look for areas we can see opportunity. We see an opportunity for collaboration with Upwin, because I think we need to begin to come together to plan such programs that we have for our communities, because ultimately as a business, we want to make sure when we go to this environment, we're able to operate seamlessly. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Anyway,
please.
right.
Apologies, we really don't have much time, but that's very good, and that's a very good initiative. Training the women. That's very good. Quickly, I'll go to Professor Olubenga. Professor Olubenga, please, in 1 minute, 1 minute, from your experience, what is the most critical thing a mentor can give a young female engineer? What do you, as a mentor, gain from the relationship?
All right. In a minute, that's difficult. But then you as a mentor has two things to offer to make a whole mentee. One, you are associated with people who have succeeded in the field of your expertise. I, for example, as a lecturer, I have lost count of the people I know that are already in the industry and they are successful and they are practicing home and abroad. So if I'm mentoring you, I have that connections to make for you, in the sense that I'm limited in my own understanding or in my own area, which is of course drilling. But perhaps you need mentoring that exceed the area where I'm an expertise. It is important that I connect you with people that can help you. So I have that as a whole reservoir of experience to link you with the right and appropriate connections you need. So I also have that wealth of knowledge to help you to articulate what you need to become competent for your work. For instance, I've done several articulation of bringing simulations together and bringing it to reality. Then it is possible also for me, in your own context, if you have challenges that has to do with your profession or your own specialization, how you can articulate the two together to be competent. For a woman that you are trying to mentor, if you are not competent on the job of engineering, honestly, you will be brought to a mess. So competence is really important. Not seeking me to sponsor you, not seeking me to help you know what I know. And then for me as a mentor, the adage says you learn twice when you teach once. I gain twice as I teach you.
Fantastic. I love that. I love that. You gain twice when you teach. I can totally relate to her as a lecturer myself. A way in which you can give your mentees, opportunity because of the network that you have made from maybe old students in the industry and all that. So thank you so much, Prof, for this very insightful contribution. Next question, quickly in 1 minute, Valentina. As a chartered accountant and a commercial strategist who has navigated complex global markets, you understand risks better than most. So my question is this: how can we reframe the conversation about women in leadership from one of risk mitigation to one of value creation?
Thank you very much for that question. I think we all agree that the narrative around women leadership has been a mindset of compliance. How many women on the board? Let's make it 3. It's not necessarily, it's just like a compliance thing. Let's fulfill all righteousness. I like what my colleague said. I think we need to change the narrative. We need to get the people to see what value are women bringing to the table, and women do bring value to the table. Almost, I was reading somewhere that of about maybe 2,000 companies that were assessed, women in leadership made the companies about 40% more profitable. That is value. that the women are bringing to the table. And that is our narrative. No matter where you are, whether you're negotiating LNG contracts, managing trading portfolios, navigating regulatory risk, whatever it is you're doing, you need to have that diversity. And women bring diversity of thought. I mean, I think Yetunde mentioned that women see things in a different way. Women read situations in a different way. And that way, women bring value to the table. So changing the narrative from, oh, compliance to value. The women are bringing value. And every organization wants that. They want to make more money and they want to see how women, especially women in leadership, can do that for them. Bringing on board broader risk framing. Women see risk more than men. It's a natural thing. Maybe it has to do with bearing children or having kids or managing a home. But women are able to view risk and consider not only the financial exposure, the reputational, different angles to things. And that's the value that women bring to the table. Even when negotiating, high-stakes negotiations benefit from leaders who combine both analytical rigor and emotional intelligence. And you must agree with me that women bring that to the table. So, and also portfolio resilience. Women always, I mean, maybe because I'm a woman, women always bring in portfolio resilience to the table, looking at diversity, diversity of perspective. So the real conversation should really shift from why include women to the value women bring to the table, and to show the value women bring to the table by having diverse views, looking at things from a different perspective, and that brings value, and that's the narrative we have to sell. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I like what you said about us going beyond just filling a quota. For example, you want to take 10 engineers and you just tell them, oh, make sure you have 3 women. But it should be that when they employ 10 engineers, 5 of them will be women. I think it's better that way. And so we also need to bring value as women, not just, oh, because I'm a woman, you have to take me. What exactly do you have to offer? So we're going beyond that. The right narrative, as she said, actually changing to value addition. Thank you so much. My next question goes to Dr. Omotoba. Dr. Omotoba, you have served on 9 boards in the US. And you have deep experience in corporate governance. Boards play a critical role in setting the tone for diversity and inclusion. What is the most powerful gift board of directors can make to ensure the game is a truly empowered and diverse leadership pipeline, moving beyond just policies to measurable outcomes?
Thank you very much for that question. By the grace of God, I've not only served on boards in Nigeria and the US, I've also served on the highest board in Nigeria, the Federal Executive Council. And I think boards should make conscious efforts to make sure that you have very good mix of women in the functional directorate. When I was in aviation, I did that. I make sure that I use very good women. I even had to bring some that have gone abroad for years and wanted to come back to make sure that they come back to the country. And of course, as CEO of NATCOM, former NITEL, our functional director, we were 8, and 4 women, 4 men. It was mixed. And that helps us in taking balanced decisions. And of course,
I think we need to applaud him. That's a very good one.
There are some situations where the soft side of women helps us in even forestalling problems that could spiral out of control because we were going through a very complex restructuring process. Now, one of the questions I was discussing with His Excellency Governor Amaechi, why he sat here and he made the comment, I was telling me I disagree, was that as a private equity investor, I have invested in a woman entrepreneur. And of course, in 2008, when I was head of private equity at Africa Finance Corporation and secretary to the investment committee, when Funke Okweke brought a business plan to lay a 7,000 undersea cable from Portugal to land in West Africa in Lagos, Accra, and Dakar, I saw a woman, she finished from University of Ife before they call it OAU. And she read electrical engineering before going to Columbia. So you see a strong woman who knows her onion with strong financial literacy. And of course, she had planned out the strategy not only to compete, but even to outcarol the competition that are there, SAT3 and even Glow 1 that was already there. So out of the 94.5 million of investment I made in 2008 for Africa Finance Corporation, 38.5, I gave it to her at the equity level because I could see that's a woman engineer that knows her onion. So a woman engineer should not only be technical, a woman engineer also needs to be financially literate, be strong, because storms will come when you are trying to do business. And so she launched in 2010. She did very well. In 2022, she sold for 320 million. She made so much money. That's a successful woman entrepreneur and engineer that I want the young ones here today to be able to emulate. And I'm happy one of the young ladies I spoke referred to her. We back her when she wanted to raise 200 million. Today we are beating our chest that we made the right decision. That is what we need to do for women engineers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you've kind of emphasized the importance of having women in leadership position where they'll bring, that perspective of D&I, diversity and inclusion in whatever decision that has been made. Thank you so much. Please, let's give him another round of applause. Okay. So quickly, my next question goes to ESV Esther Twase. In your profession, yes, your profession actually bridges the gap between physical space and economic value. With the theme Give to Gain, Empower, Elevate All, how do you see the role of women in real estate and valuation facilitating the development of critical infrastructure?
Thank you. Is the what of a building and all. So we are intermediary between the government, the community, to be able to ascertain the value of the land. And that can do what? Boost the morale of the women. Because women are more, like we've all said, more attached to the community. One, when we have this and we are on the board, we will help to advise, to build the health care. You well, so we need health care for our family. So this, when we have the mental of the women intact, through that, so the social aspect of the community. So this helps to give. Okay. Policymakers idea of what to develop on. So our work is to give accurate value to the building and every other thing attached to it, including your working tools. Those also could serve as a value to make money. And like he rightly said, that women need to be financially literate for them to excel in what they are doing. And they also need that financial backup. So your property, your land is the value, and there's many value attached to land. So having a professional in the Nigeria Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuer determine, even the government, as at now, Nigeria do not know the asset value of what we own. And that is a minus to the economy, is a minus to the economy and the government of the day. So we have to have this at our hand. And this way you can be able to plan. And in the population, the women are more than the men. So you need to now apportion more of these resources and assets to the women so that when you empower them, they can in turn give back to the society, mentor more women, and bring more women into the food. Like she said, that we also have to have what we call areas of competence. It will not be easy for somebody that is in the architect to come into my area, but we could work in a collaboration or a network, and that thereby creating more avenue and more resources like co-funding to be able to give birth to mega projects, like he said, because that is what will turn us around. It's good to have entrepreneurs, they are the local ones, they build on it, but then we must transit. It's a transition from one area to the other. It is when you know the actual value of the resources, both on land, in the land, on the air, and announced it, both the sea, and every trees, economic trees, both rating, that is where we could now say, oh, this is what we have. What can we do to go into the power sector? What can we do in the agricultural sector? What can we do in the gas and oil sector? And what can we do in the women who are in the local houses? How can we help them? And that can bring about policy planning, security,
Absolutely.
and healthcare improvement.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it's important for us to know the value of what we have so that we'll be able to disseminate our resources properly. Last question goes to Architect Agada. It's the question on mentorship and visibility. We know today's theme actually emphasizes about empowering women and elevating everyone. So in a profession like architecture, where women are still underrepresented in major industrial products, in 1 minute, please tell me, what role do you see for established female architects in mentoring the next generation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see mentorship as giving. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Give to Gain. One of the greatest way you can give is through mentorship, because you'll be securing your future or the future. One of the most exciting thing I saw here today is these young students that are here. They are the future. They'll be taking over from us tomorrow, and tomorrow we might be needing their services. So one of the greatest thing we can give back is by mentoring the younger ones, so that they can do better than us, much more than us. One of the things I keep telling female architects and women everywhere, in as much as we're advocating that for creating enabling environment for the women to thrive, it doesn't mean that the bars are going to be lower for you. They, just like one of our speakers said, that we should stop accepting compliance. Rather, we should create value. That means that we can do as much as our male counterpart, or even better. It's what you carry that matters. It's not your gender. It's what you carry is inside of you. One of the some of the greatest architects we've had in time, someone like Zaha Hadid, she was a woman. Her designs, it's a timeless designs that will be talked about in years to come. So we need to encourage ourselves to be strong and to do what we are called to do, and not expecting that the bars need to be lowered for us. So currently, one of the things we are planning to do this year, mentorship is something we do over the years. And this year, we are just trying to formalize it by launching our mentorship scheme. What do we want to do? We want, so that future executives that come on board, it will be something that will be carried intentionally without going back, especially the younger female architects that come out of the university. They don't know what to do. Some of them, they don't even know how to start their practice. The older ones that are thriving in that area, we hold their hands to show them how to carry out their practice. Those that are going into public service, the older architects in the public service, we hold their hands, and the same with the academia, and that way.
Okay.
So
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, let's applaud her. I love what you said about, as women, let's not wait for the bar to be lowered. In fact, I don't even want the bar to be lowered for me. I want to be up to the tax. So it's important for us, even as women, to be able to improve ourselves, be the best we can be, and also be at par, if not better, with others. Thank you so much. I'd like to ask the chairman of the occasion if we have time for question and answer, else they'll be closing. No time, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much. So I'd like us to applaud the panelists for a fantastic job. Well done. So basically, as we close this session, I'd like to think about just one thing, and that is the ripple effect, the domino effect. What you're doing now is going to affect others and generations to come. So for every time a woman is given an opportunity, a seat at the table, a chance to lead, a voice in the room, the impact doesn't stop with her. It flows to her family, it actually flows to our community, and it flows to our industry and beyond. And so today we have heard from leaders, our panelists who embody this truth. They have given us the time, their wisdom, their challenge to just not applaud empowerment, but also to practice it. So as we walk out of this hall, we need to take the conversation beyond this room and ask ourselves, what will I give? Will I mentor? Will I sponsor? Will I speak up? Because when you empower her, you elevate all of us. So I'd like to once again thank our very distinguished panelists. Thank you for thank you also to our audience for your rapt attention, because without the audience, we can't just be speaking to ourselves. And also thank you for everyone that made this panel session and this program possible. Let's all go out there and create those ripples. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I think we'll have to wait to take a picture. Thank you.
Side by side,
Order from the TP. Sorry. Professor Adiola. Professor Engineer Valentina Marico. Sorry, Valentina Marico. Okay, that next one will be represented by Mr. Award. How much of That's Emi Agada. Tuashi. Me, your mentee is waiting. Oh. This goes to our able moderator, the chairman, Nigerian Institution of Petroleum Engineers. So, Energy Research Center, University of Abuja, Engineer Professor Yetunde Alagbert. Thank you so much, the panelists, the wonderful job. And at this hour, we want to recognize juncture. We want to recognize our wonderful awardees. Most of them are online. So, and they are really, really watching this. They are watching this, and the selection was tough. The selection was tough, but at the end of the day, the 5 people that made the list, you agree with me, they deserve it. So we'll start with where's my paper? No. The woman that supervised the NNPC towers. NNPC people, can you tell me who supervised the 4 towers you are sitting in? Can you flash that on the screen? The first awardee, Dr. Olatokunbo Arinola Chomolu, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and Fellow Academy of Engineering. Check if she's online so that you can spotlight her. Do we have someone who she has sent to receive this beautiful award on her behalf? Of course. Another NNPC guru, our founding member, Engineer Beatrice Omiko Odunui Fenesi. I don't know why I allowed the chairman of the occasion to leave this stage. Sorry, Madam Valerie, the deputy president. Please kindly give us the honor to present this beautiful award. In recognition, is a Legacy Excellence Award.
She asked a question, and I can't remember hearing her call the name of the person this award is being presented to. But it's my honor and privilege to be presenting this Legacy Excellence Award to our own. She was actually GED engineering when GGM engineering when I was president of APAMA. You remember we went so many times to see her. Engineer Beatrice, and lovely woman, supporter of our point, and she did so well. It's my honor and privilege to be presenting this to Engineer Dr. Olatokunbo Arionla Shomolu, FNSE FAEng, in recognition of a lifetime of outstanding contributions and enduring impact in the energy sector. Presented today, the 26th, during the 2026 International Women's Day celebration with the theme Give to Gain, Empower Her, Empower All. She was actually empowered, and she empowered all that came around her. So can you please give a big round of applause to Engineer Dr. Shomolu. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
This is for Engineer Betty Ugona. This Woman in Energy Leadership Award.
Woman in Energy Leadership Awards presented to Engineer Betty Ugona, FNSE, also in recognition of your exceptional leadership and mentorship of women in the industry. Congratulations, ma'am.
Pilola, are you there? Thank you, ma'am. To receive on behalf of Engineer Mrs. Olusheyi Afolabi, this is Industry Gem Recognition Award. Anybody to receive on her behalf? Someone from NNPC, can you do us that honor? Thank you. Okay, she's going. No, no. Engineer Gladys, please, Honorable Gladys, please, can you come and receive this award on behalf of Engineer Mrs. Oluseyi Afolabi, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers. A round of applause, please.
It's my honor to be presenting the Industry Gem Recognition Awards to Engineer Mrs. Oluseyi Afolabi, FNCHE, in recognition of her being a role model and an influential figure in the Nigerian petroleum industry. Congratulations, Mike.
The old best of the whole year in terms of being a past president, and I'm sure in terms of age, uh, our mommy, the second president of Halfway, the person of engineer, today I will call her Nkechi Isigwe FNSC, this Industry Development Award. She's part of the people that put up a policy like that.
Privilege to be presenting this Industry Development Awards to our very own Engineer Nkechi Isigwe FNSC for being a great role model and an influential figure in the engineering profession. These are not just words written on a plaque, they are facts. Go check it out. She's been a good role model. She's been there for all of us, and she's still there, and she's still influencing. And any opportunity she has to connect you to what you want, she doesn't cease to do it. Please, can you join me to give her another big round of applause? This is presented to Randy. Thank you so much.
No, the last one. Sorry, my chairman. Thank you. The last one is for another role model who happens to be an advisor in this International Women's Day Committee, had worked in the oil and gas sector, mentor to many, in the person of Engineer Noli Akpedeye, FNSC, Fellow of the Academy of Engineering. So this is Outstanding Legacy in Energy Development Award. Engineer, the mentee, Engineer Professor Yetunde Aladota. She's one of the mentees.
Sector. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, ma. Stop.
It's another round of applause for the president of APWEN for doing justice to the appreciation awards section. We would now like to call on the schools that are here that made presentations earlier. We'll call them one after the other so that they can receive their certificates of participation and also a plaque for recognition for being at the event. So I'll start by calling Police Secondary School Day Zuba. Please be.
The students. All of them should come. Yes, it's their call engineer. When I look at these students, to come and help present the certificates to them.
Okay, Government Day Secondary School, do say Government Secondary School, Kubwa, Junior Secondary Schools, you can just come out, line up while the certificates are being given to you. It's true, sir. Sir, it's we're sorry, sir. It's an omission.
First, let me say it. I can't wait to see you. You are the type I've been waiting for. Do you know how much I really need you? I dey pray for the day when I can finally meet you. You know, you in that's why my heart shaking like you. 'Cause I
Yes, yes, Kubwa. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Police secondary school. It's a shop. Got your certificate from Paris. Yeah, that's it. So digital. Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for our past president, Engineer K.A. Ali, FNSC. Thank you for doing us this honor. Okay, I would like to specially recognize, while I call him up on stage to present the next set of certificates, the past national chairman, Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, NICE, Engineer Dr. Jang C. Tanko, FNSC, FNICE. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for doing us the honor for presenting these certificates. You're welcome. Junior secondary school, get ready. Sharp, sharp. A round of applause for Appoint President. Thank you so much, ma, for all you do. At this juncture, we would like to receive goodwill messages. Goodwill messages, just 2 minutes each. First, we would like to call the representative of NAPTIP, representing the Director General of NAPTIP. A round of applause for her, please. 2 minutes. 3.
My name is Sandra Dike. I'm on behalf of the of NAPTIP. I congratulate you for on the occasion of 2026 Female Women Day celebration. I want to use the thank you very much for this topic. Empower her, empower all. Because this part of our function, we empower everything. Empowering them, we now empower them vocationally and educationally. At the end of the day, you become self-reliant. They become self-reliant and become have a level of financial independence. So for this, we are very grateful for the education that you put empowering these victims to give them back as a form of empowerment. I want to use the opportunity to thank you all for everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma. A round of applause for her. I would like to call the past chairman of NICE, Engineer Dr. Jang C. Tanko, to give us his goodwill message.
Thank you. The chairman of the occasion and the NSC president, ably represented by our mother, the deputy president. Proud to see you, past president of NSC, Engineer Ali, the appointed president and our ESCO, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed very grateful to be here today and to witness this program. What really gladdens my heart is seeing these students around. I want to believe that what you have done today and what you will continue to do will continue to shape the lives of these children. And I want to say that when you say give to gain, I was reminded this afternoon that what I'm giving to my daughter, I will soon start reaping it. At the moment, she's in the UK. Though she's not an engineer, she's a pharmacist. And she said to me that Daddy, I will not come back until I get a license as a pharmacist. And we're struggling by the grace of God. By June, she will be completing her program. And I'm waiting to start gaining the pounds from the UK. So I want to believe that what you are doing is very apt. And even in the Nigerian Society of Engineers, we can see what has started happening. We just had an administration being headed by our mother engineer, Margaret Ogunchala, who led the society very well. And by the grace of God, Our incoming mother is also waiting. We have no doubt that the society will experience a lot of innovations because a woman is a special gift to man. So I want to encourage that the APEN should keep a very close collaboration with other female professionals from other fields so that together you'll be able to ensure that the girl child is given her right place in the society. Proud to be here, and I wish you all the best, and will continue to support the activities of APEN. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause for him. Next is the representative of the chairman FCT UBEB, technologist Unwachupu and Angela. You're welcome to the podium for your goodwill message.
Thank you very much. Standing on Lord established protocols, or not without recognizing Engineer NK Super. I appreciate you, ma. Honestly, I do. And the present chairperson of APWEN, and every one of us here. You're all very special. I want to say good afternoon. It's an honor to represent the chairman of FCT UBEB, who would have loved to be here, but she's just new on the seat. And so she's all over the place trying to put things in order. And so she asked me to come on her behalf. I want to extend a warm greeting from the Federal Capital Territory Administration. You know, my Oga Wike, is interested in education to the best of our knowledge, as well as the FCT Universal Basic Education Board. This year's team, Give to Gain, with a sub-team, Empower Her, Elevate All, highlights the importance of empowering women in STEM and recognizing their valuable contributions to the society. The FCT UBEB has the mandate to nurture young minds through offering basic education to pupils and students in well over 700 basic schools, primary and junior secondary, as well as the early child learning centers. So we have them well over 700. So you can imagine so much. The UBEB is leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that out of school children phenomenon is reduced to the barest minimum. We are not relenting in the pursuit of the teaching and learning of basic science, technology, and entrepreneurship, while having the mindset of innovation in all we do. We do this through various programs. We believe that catching them young is paramount and have gone ahead to institute a program termed Talent Hunt, aimed at encouraging entrepreneurial development in STI. Our children have been excelling in their set category in competitions and technology expos. At least you saw what the junior ones did today from Junior Secondary School, Kubwa. Assuredly, the girl child is fully involved in these programs. However, a lot still needs to be done. Today, we celebrate not only the achievements of women in these fields, but also the spirit of generosity, collaboration, and collective uplifting that will drive future progress. We believe in the words of the APWEN president, which she told us this afternoon, that every great structure has a supportive base. Therefore, a formidable partnership with APWEN will raise the bar for the girl child enrollment in the STI domain higher, as well as stimulate them to pursue careers in STEM. Create a future where women excel in every field. On behalf of the chairman UBEB, Lady Florence Wenegeme, I thank you for allowing us to be part of this impactful celebration Together, we'll continue to support and elevate women, especially the young female students, by ensuring that they are empowered to achieve their full potential. I want to believe that personally, I will call on the Apwen Abuja chapter office to assess those areas of collaboration that will help us with the girl child education in STEM. Thank you so much, Apwen, and thank you, all the wonderful people and guests. God bless all of us.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her. Last but not the least is our distinguished past president of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Yes, we were saving the best for the last actually, because we know he's going to give a recap to the goodwill message. May I humbly invite past president engineer K.A. Ali, FNSC, MNI, to give us his words of goodwill. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, President Apwen, our students, I like your attitude. You're sitting down very calmly. It's even the adults that are moving about. Anyway, I like to congratulate Apwen again for putting this up. This is something you've been doing for more than 40 years ago, and you're not tired and you're improving on it. So I'd like to congratulate you. Having said that, for the younger ones, what I said the last time in response to what the former minister is, there's nothing wrong. There's no falsehood. Everything I said is true. I want to assure it's true. That bridge, if anybody has passed through Makodi, that bridge is there as a testimony. There is what they call local content building in Egoa. It's also a Nigerian project. That is the tallest building in the whole of the Niger Delta today. There are a few things, areas that engineers have been challenged, they have delivered. But to do iconic things, nations challenge their professionals, not only engineers. You challenge, So when you do, even when it fails, let it fail. You will do it again. Egypt did that. Egypt was supposed to host a sports festival at one time when Gamal Abdel Nasser was the president. And he said he was not going to bring any European to do the stadium. He said, why can't Egyptian engineers do it? They did it. It was very rugged, but structurally stable, but not beautiful at all. He said they'll play the match there. That is the symbol of our own evolution. And they have evolved today to be a power in the area of engineering. So we can do the same thing in our own country if we choose to. But politicians continue to gaslight us. That's my pain. It's annoying. When you make people feel like they are incompetent, who amongst you here who did engineering didn't come top of his class of our class? You cannot be among the last batch of people in the class. No, nobody who has a course to do engineering did not stay among maybe the first 5 or 10 in the class, no matter how many they were. So those who become engineers and scientists generally are easily the best of our people. Why do you want to make them feel inferior to those who did not even have time to participate? So please continue to have confidence in yourself, young children. The post may not be so clear now, but it will be clear in good time, because we're getting to a point where you have no option but to look inwards. Look at what is happening in unfortunate war going on. Iran, for a long time, couldn't get help from anybody. So they went into their laboratory and workshop, manufacture everything. Everything they are using in Iran today for the war is manufactured locally. Pakistan, they are doing the same thing. China did the same thing. Korea did the same thing. Why can't we do it? We only like to sing the song. How can you bring science teachers from India to Nigeria in 2000? This one was 2007. You brought teachers. Whereas there are many science teachers all over Nigeria. So when they say these things with pride in the open, it's very annoying. But because it's our guest, I didn't want to reply him well. But everything I went to his office. I went with the deputy governor of his state, who was an engineer. I told him that time Rivers had the highest revenue. That before they ceded some of their oil to Bayelsa, they were the richest state in Nigeria. So I told him, you are a young man. You have an opportunity to write your name in gold. Just use that money, use your engineers to turn around Rivers State. It's a small state. Do all the road locally. You get help. Even some funding will come from outside for you. And he agreed partially. But he was usually argumentative. I told him this is what they did in Dubai. Dubai is a small emirate within the Emirates, but they borrowed money to do what they did in Dubai. There was a time Dubai almost got seized until Abu Dhabi came to help them. Do the same thing, borrow the money. So when we appear on the program one time, he didn't. He said, "Oh, he wished he had borrowed money to do." And I said, "I told you," but now he's pretending he doesn't remember. Anyway, it's not the topic of our discussion. You are doing well. Female engineers are doing exceedingly well. You have There's no scandal around you. Any project you have done well. Way back, Apwen was the first person to raise issues with the quality of engineering education in Nigeria. And that thing has not stopped. That message is still going on. What Minister of Education is doing now, using third fund to do something, is because of that work. Because sometimes you never know when a good job will become useful. These things are in the files. It takes somebody who has head to just read the file or see the file. As well, something like this was done sometime. And you work on it. This is how nations grow. Our own, they don't work with institutional memory. In fact, ministers come, they don't respect their directors. They don't talk with anybody. They just come with on their high horse with their fantasies. They want to interact with the contractor directly because they want to steal money. And that's all. So nobody should gaslight you. Don't allow anybody to gaslight you. You are brilliant. You are beautiful. The world belongs to you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, past president, I want to crave your indulgence because I actually said you should speak last. And after that, we close the goodwill messages. But I'm made to understand there is a representative of the EVP here. So I'm breaking protocols. Please, I'll just give you 2 minutes to say something. Thank you so very much. You've been patient. No. You can just stay here. Come and stay with me. You can stay with me here and just give your speech. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, you appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished senior colleagues. I'm not an engineer, but I'm married to one, a very brilliant one. So I would say, good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. Being married to an engineer is a fantastic thing, actually. Sets you on the right course for perfect thinking. So I bring you warm greetings from the Executive Vice President, Business Services of NNPC Limited, Mrs. Sophia Mbakwe, who due to exigencies of duty is unable to be with us, but she has extended a warm regards to this gathering. A lot has been said. I've been sitting down there. In fact, I have a prepared speech, but I'm going to go outside that because it's very needless. A lot has been said about giving to women. Well, I like to challenge us. The person who is receiving the gift, what are you giving? What are you doing to yourself? How are you positioning yourself to be supported? Because you have to show yourself and make yourself accountable. First, as young children, I'd like to let you know it's very critical for you to have clarity of your vision. You just don't say you want to become a doctor. Clarity of your vision states understanding what it means to be a doctor and then putting in place your strategies to becoming one. It is very, very important. You have to be good in all your sciences. You have to be exceptional in what you do. You have to be coachable and teachable. A doctor does not go to class and they are teaching you and you are doing whatever you like. It's not going to happen. Lifting up everyone or a particular woman is as a result of the woman positioning his or herself to be lifted. I listened to Professor Benga earlier, Olubenga, and she broke down a lot of things she did to make herself someone to be reckoned with in her field. So you also, I'm charging you to be the same and do the same in everything you do. Also ensure that you have personal accountability. My TA is here, and every time he's always telling me, "Oh, MD, you are not even doing this, you are not doing that." I said, "So it's a work ethics I grew up with. I don't know how to run away from the office." It took me years to be able to close from work earlier than the closing time. It took me years. So at every point in time in my career, I positioned myself, I made myself accountable to myself that nobody is seeing me. How do I run this race in such a way that everyone would like to work with me, would like to deal with me? And then, over the years, I've strategically positioned myself. So whether you like me or you do not like me, you have to work with me. You will want to work with me. Over the years, I've been able to achieve that. So it's not a matter of personal likeness. It's a matter of being exceptional at what you do. And also institutionalizing your work ethics in such a way that even if you are fat and ugly, everybody still wants to work with you. Okay? So that for me is also a critical element. So don't always wait for people to lend a hand. Position yourself for that help that you seek. You have to be able to learn and relearn. For those of us that are adults, we have to be professional in everything that we do. We have to say that I have a strategic vision, and also there's something called strategic visibility, which is beyond positioning yourself, beyond being accountable, beyond being able to learn and relearn. You have to also be able to position yourself strategically in a visible manner. So all these these steps will help you to be able to be in the right place for the right support that you require so that you can be elevated. There's no free lunch everywhere. You've got to work for everything that you desire. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't say.
No, you didn't say to me. I would have stopped you. Not to worry.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for her, please. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw the curtains on this remarkable celebration of the 2026 International Women's Day, organized by the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, I am honored with a heart full of gratitude to give the closing remark. First of all, on behalf of APWEN, vote of thanks, sorry, the vote of thanks, man. Thank you. A vote of thanks. On behalf of APWEN, I would like to especially appreciate everyone for being here with us today. First of all, to the chairman of the occasion, the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, FNSC, who is here represented by my own mommy, Engineer Valeria Beraba, the deputy president of NSC. Thank you for being here with us and for gracing the